like she retired, right? But it won't really like be real until school starts.
Right. Yeah, true.
Sure.
Right now, it's just like summer vacation. Like when everybody goes back.
Right. Yes.
Like, dude, like I keep telling her, like, because you keep seeing back to school stuff, like we're at Target and stuff. And she always goes to the back to school stuff. Like she's like an organization nut. She always has to look at all the buying, like like planners. Like she's a planner person, like a paper planner book. I'm like, stop. You don't need those anymore. Like,
right.
I'm like, I'm going to get you an intervention. You don't need that junk. Like, we were at the Dollar Tree the other day because she had to get stuff for like, they always get lunch for the cheerleaders for like choreography and stuff. And she needed like tablecloths, put on the tables. We're in the Dollar Tree. And of course, boom, right to the back to school aisle. I'm like, Pam, like, stop. You don't have to go there anymore. Like, you're not a teacher. Mallory doesn't get her back to school stuff at Dollar Tree. She would kill you. Like, where's the tablecloth aisle in this place? And then, dude, I've been at Dollar Tree like in 5 years, dude. I was like, dude, this place is awesome. Look at all the candy they have for like $1. I'm like, candy. Dude, they had so much good candy. I'm like, I'd be up for this place. It was so good.
But did they have the packs of little mini erasers? Hannah needs those for her gumball machines.
I'm just trying to drag her out of there. She was like opening up every place.
Yes.
Like all the little like shelving you can put on your teacher desk. I'm like, I can't teacher desks anymore. This is what you work for. To not have to buy this stuff anymore. I'm like,
it's not all $1 though anymore.
That's what she said. I was like, really? I know, because I saw like Gatorade and stuff. I'm like, Gatorade's $1. She's like, no. And then gift cards. I was like, those aren't $1. Like, that's weird.
No, it goes up.
All right, let me hit this on Facebook real quick.
Think about my Christmas shopping. I got to go to the Dollar Tree for Mike now.
Yeah, lots of candy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
we didn't know that the candy was so popular.
They had this candy that a listener sent me a couple years ago. And I don't remember what they're called though, but they're like sticks with like chocolate on them. They're like kind of like
the Pocky sticks.
Yes, I think that's what they were called.
Okay.
Yeah, they were kind of like they almost look like a sprinkler, like you light on fire at the 4th of July.
Yeah,
like one of those. Yeah, and I was like, I have not seen those, and they had them at the Dollar Tree. I was like, oh, dude, I should have bought those. But I didn't even know. I thought you couldn't even get them in this country, and then boom, there they were.
You can get them at the Epcot.
Oh yes, I think it might have been where I saw them. Now you say Epcot and the Dollar Tree. Yes. That's the same thing.
Yes.
That's not a great relation. But there we are. Hockey sticks.
Yep.
Hello to Mohawk over in Scotland, getting ready for bed because he's gonna get up and do his Galloway in the morning. Hello to Rhonda Lee up in Canada. Quite an international affair this morning, or this afternoon, or this night, whatever. We're worldly, whatever day it is. Billy Bean over on Instagram. We got Stephen Gregg, CMA Winnie over on Instagram. Steve Gallagher.
Plus, we talked about Pocky. It's from Japan, so there we are. It's international.
All right, let's answer some questions. We need questions. Put them in the comments, please. Questions in the comments so we can have some fresh ones. Probably the Pocky over at the Dollar Tree in Weldon Spring, Missouri is probably super old.
Who knows?
No, I'm sure it's old. those boxes look old. I was like, oh, vintage Pocky sticks. And they had different flavors too, all kinds.
Yeah, there are. There's a bunch of flavors.
But I was going for the chocolate Pocky. What number are we on? 2734. Here we go. All-Star Show. Dude, my stomach's growling. Ooh, hope it didn't pick up on the mic. Welcome to episode 2734 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com. And one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week and glad you're here because it is time to answer your trip planning questions. Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, even sometimes, occasionally, a little bit of life advice. But please don't take that seriously because not a good idea. But we are here, all-star crew, to answer those questions and hopefully put you in a better place when it comes to future Disney plans. So joining me today for this show, We have the all-star of YouTube from Must See Adventures, hashtag Scotty G, up in East Lansing, Michigan. What's up, Scotty G?
Happy Wednesday, Mike. So with my videos, I always like to start off with like bloopers. I don't know if you ever seen those. I thought it was like always a fun way, a good blooper reel.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget this blooper that you did. I always hope that you're going to do it every episode, because I'll never forget one time you said a senior citizen instead of senior agent at the Magic for Less. And every time I hope you say senior citizen ever since the one time you did it, and you never do anymore. It was just that one and done.
Well, I mean, you can't repeat greatness, this comes once and then it's, lightning doesn't strike twice, they say, or something.
But maybe I just manifested that. Maybe the next time you will, maybe you're going to say senior citizen the next time you introduce yourself.
Tune in Friday for the next blooper. That could be you never know. You never know. But, so how are things up there this week? I mean, hopefully, I think that
it's still hot. It's still hot here. It's hot everywhere in the country, though.
It is summer.
I think, though, the heat wave is supposed to break midweek. I think the heat wave is supposed to break around the time the show releases.
Like Thursday, Friday, getting into the weekend, we're going to have some 70, upper 70s, which is going to be a relief compared to like the 90s and hundreds we've been having. So I see Pam nodding in agreement. I know you're about to introduce her. Like, even in Pittsburgh, they're having the heat wave. She said, it is summertime, though. It is.
We're talking Pittsburgh. We're talking Pam Forster, Coner, the Magic for Less Travel. She is here to disperse knowledge left and right. What's up, Pam? I know.
That's a lot to live up to.
She's here to make sure we behave, basically.
Well, I mean, that is number one on the list. Disperse knowledge 1B. That's right.
It feels like now I'm going to have to extra be on point today because of that. Like, it feels very like I can't just off the cuff answer things. Things must be, although let's be honest, that's all we do. Those are the only answers we give is off the cuff.
Correct.
So, yeah.
I mean, if it was a scripted show, it would be boring, right? I mean,
it would be, yes. But ours isn't even an outlined show. It's not even a general idea of what we're talking about kind of show. It's extremely off the cuff. So
I have two things before we start the show that kind of breaking news as of a little bit earlier in the week, a couple days ago, that you have to know about if you are headed to Disney World soon, because they will affect your plans. One is the fact that they have lifted, Disney has, those annual pass holder restrictions to go over and see Starlight, which were kind of a pain for folks because you couldn't bounce back over to the Magic Kingdom to get over there if you had an annual pass. So that was a big mess. So now you just got to play by the rules that were in place prior to Starlight, the nighttime parade at the Magic Kingdom happening. So that is gone. So if you were worried about that happening, that is, you're good there. The bigger news. Now, Pam, I don't know if this news will affect you. This is something that takes place only for folks who are going to be at Walt Disney World on Friday. I think this is one of the best things Walt Disney World has done in a long time. They need to do more of this. And I got to go to my phone because I have to read this straight from the source, that on Friday, August 1st, ESPN 8, the Ocho, is coming to Walt Disney World, ESPN Wide World of Sports. So if you are at Walt Disney World on Friday, 2 days from now, head over to Walt Disney World, ESPN Wide World of Sports, great complex. If you're a Run Disney fan, you've been there. Cheerleader, dad, you've been there. There's going to be all kinds of events going on all day, and you can spectate. Now, if you don't know what ESPN the Ocho is, you obviously haven't seen Dodgeball, the Underdog Story, or whatever that is. But here are the events you can see as a fan. These are going to be going on all day. Now check this lineup out. This is amazing. So starting at 10 a.m., Major League Paintball will be taking place over at ESPN. Then at 11 a.m., you have NWLA Wiffle Ball Championships. Now these are serious sports. Like, these are the best of the best at wiffle ball. Like, this is a serious competition. These people are going to be brilliant.
Do you feel...
And it says, the description says, not your.
I always want to have a cold beer and watch some wiffle ball.
Oh, dude, you're laughing.
Sit in the hot sun.
I would watch this in
110 degrees and wiffle ball.
Yes.
This one says, not your elementary school gym class version of wiffle ball, you'll be amazed at these athletes' ability to make the ball virtually unhittable. And honest to God, I've seen people play like at the highest levels of wiffle ball, like that thing can dance.
What's next on the list? Is it going to be the parachute game where you have to lift the parachute up and run
No. So at noon, we have Omega Ball at noon. Okay, Omega Ball. You might say, what's Omega Ball? Well, here's
what is it, Mike?
It's a fast-paced, high-scoring version of soccer where 3 teams compete at the same time with 3 different goals. So you got 3 teams, 3 goals. I don't even know what that look like, but that's a mega ball. And then so at 1:00 p.m., I guess it's happening all. I don't know. I guess maybe
is dodgeball even on the list?
Hold up, dude.
Okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
At 1:00, you have Turf Wars Adult Kickball. Now, I like how they put in Turf Wars because it sounds like this could get a little edgy. Somebody could get like shanked or something. I mean, it sounds like a like Jets Sharks kind of situation with some kickball. It says good old fashioned adult kickball played at the highest level. So there you go. Then at 2:00, they're going to do Sports Center. Did it right there on the site. And then at 3:00, there's a good game of Bull Shooter. Now you might want to know what Bull Shooter is because I definitely wanted to know what that was. When I saw that, it says you might have played a version of this game with soft tip darts and an electronic dartboard. These athletes are just better at it than you. So it's electronic darts, apparently.
Barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce. Good reference. By the way, Ted Lasso season 4 from my home state. You'll get to see a little Missouri. That's on the other side. It's in Kansas City. And then at 4:00, they're going to do the Ocho Show, which is behind the scenes from the whole day so far. Then at 5:00, you're going to get the Pop Darts Championship presented by APL, which is combining the fun of suction cups with the excitement of throwing things at a small target. This might become your next favorite backyard party game. So suction cups and your favorite things thrown at small targets. Okay, it's fun. 6:00, Slippery Stairs. Gravity and ultra slippery soap are real opponents in this hilarious head-to-head competition that features multiple competitors attempting to ascend a slippery staircase. What can be more fun? Then it's 7:00.
I need some official rules on some of these.
I can't believe this sounds too dangerous for Disney. I'm just saying.
This sounds amazing, dude. Ultimate park hopper for this. Okay, so we got 3 more, I think. So we're building up though. So at 7:00, you got the Extreme Archery Championship presented by Archery Tag, a cross between archery and sports like paintball or laser tag. But don't worry, this extreme sport uses soft arrows and plenty of protective gear, including helmets, which leads me to believe somebody's getting shot, but you're going to have maybe protective gear on. I don't know. Like, why do you got to have help? I got protective gear on if you're playing archery. I think somebody's getting shot at. That's all I know. And then here you go, Scotty. 8:00, dodgeball. So the thrilling high-octane team from your youth played by world-class athletes. This might be the most intense competition of the event and the one I'm looking forward to watching the most. And then at 9:00, you got Pop-A-Shot 2025 National Championship, classic basketball arcade game played in a head-to-head format. Last year's winner was a 37-year-old who averaged an incredible 69 shots per round.
Wow.
And then the final event is at 10:00, competitive pillow fighting. Yep. And you can watch this all live on ESPN 8, the Ocho on Friday. All these events will be on TV live. So if you're jonesing for some Walt Disney World, tune in and you can see all these great sports.
I'm really going to look up some of the official rules on some of these, like the one where the slippery stairs, like what's going to be like not allowed, right? I mean, like,
I think you just got to get there. I don't know. Is it Dawn or is it, what kind of soap are we using? Like what is sanctioned by the
I'm upset
Federation?
that some of these things were not available in my gym class. Like I could be Olympic worthy athlete in one of these events and I never even had the chance to compete.
Right.
Well, and the thing is, like, Run Disney won't even let you carry a lightsaber in a race, because it's too dangerous. And they're letting you do this. I mean, come on, like the competitive archery where you got like apparently you're getting shot at. Like I don't know how that works.
Yes. Pam, where was the can jam for one.
100%. No
Like,
can jam, first of all. No bocce. No croquet of any sort where you make up house rules and things like that. I don't understand.
So
this.
they need a new advisory committee for this. And
100%.
I don't know why this bothers me so much, but like, why didn't they do it a week later and do it on August 8th if it's the Ocho? Like,
Good point.
they should have done it on 8/8, but maybe they already had a book.
That is good point. But we do got to get Kim Taylor somehow to get over there and get some shots. I mean, she shoots over there sometimes when it's like 150 degrees outside. This sounds like it could be an inside event because of TV coverage. She needs to be the official photographer for this. Anyway, we got to get the list of questions. So if you're over there,
I mean, you just did the whole show. So wrap it up, Mike.
Right?
I'm saying, like, this is, I mean, like when I read this, I'm like, this can't be real. But apparently it's going to be. So if you are there on Friday and you can get over there and get some coverage of this, man, I'd love to see it. I'll be watching the Ocho on Friday. So there you go. That's a big plug. Lynn's got a question. She says, hello. Let's see. Lynn from Massachusetts here. I have a question for you and the podcast listeners. As you know, because you booked it, thank you. My daughter Julie and I and our boyfriends Scott and Jake are going to be sailing on the Disney Dream from this August, and we're bookending that with a couple of nights at Disney World. We won't be buying park tickets, but do have tickets to Cirque and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. My daughter and I are Disney Cruise and Disney World veterans, but her boyfriend Jake is a first-time cruiser and a relatively Disney World newbie, while my boyfriend Scott is a first-timer to anything Disney. Recently, Scott, not you, asked me to make sure Dumbo was our first ride at Magic Kingdom because it's a classic and he always has seen it in ads. So it got me thinking, for yourselves and listeners who are veterans but get the awesome and intimidating responsibility of introducing first-timers to anything Disney, what are some of the things you like to make sure newbies experience, especially at the Magic Kingdom and cruising? Thanks in advance, Lynn. Good question. So they got some newbies on their hands. They're going to go on the Disney Dream, which Scott will be on next month. Oh, close.
Yeah.
Almost August by the time this comes out. And going to Walt Disney World, especially Magic Kingdom, because they have party tickets. So what's that? I like the Dumbo, because you do see Dumbo in almost every commercial. Good point by the other Scott there. Scott, you're Scotty G. So what would you say the other Scott here that's with us? I'm all confused.
So I do like the Dumbo, more so me though, for like another Fantasyland attraction. I think the teacups, like the Mad Tea Party, I think is like the iconic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why. I just think the teacups are an iconic thing. I know these are probably like all adults, right? But like, I think I think it'd be hilarious though. I think that would be like a fun, like first thing experience, especially during the Halloween party. Cause I think they do like a little overlay on there too. Even like at night, I think they do this cool, like flashing light thing they do during the Halloween party, but I think that's super magical. But for Jake and Scott, which is funny, like my best friend in town is named Jake.
That's right.
So for Jake and Scott on the Dream, I mean, this is going to sound cheesy, but I say this for any cruise. Like, you got to see a sunset and a sunrise on a cruise ship, and I think that just like changes your whole perspective. This is getting like deep talk here, like on life though. It's just like something magical about seeing those on sea, and I think that's just something that they have to do while they're on the Dream, regardless of any ship really. But since they're sailing the Dream, that's why I'm going to say they have to do it on the Dream.
Yeah, great suggestions. What do you say, Pam?
For me, I think that Pirates of the Caribbean is a must do, because it really is like such a great example of what Disney does so well, right? It's awesome. And I know you'll have the opportunity on the cruise to experience, dining with characters, or at least a show and all of that. But if there's any way to get in a character meal before you get on the boat, I would consider it too, because there's just something about, I think, a character meal. I love in particular to see a group of adults that clearly have some newbies in there and to see them at a character meal. Like, the level of excitement, I think sometimes with adults that are, experiencing a character meal for the first time might surpass the level of excitement that some of the kids have. I mean, really, it does. It's such a cool thing. So that's something you're definitely going to want to do. And plus, you'll be there at a party, so you've got to see fireworks and parades.
Those are great points. Yeah, my suggestion, I was thinking, and Rhonda Lee said it over down in the chat, was Small World at the Magic Kingdom, because that's kind of a classic. It's got the music that everybody knows the song, and then you can associate the song with the ride after that. I like that. And I was also thinking maybe Haunted Mansion, just because, everybody kind of knows the lore around the mansion. So possibly,
especially at the Halloween party too.
Yeah. Which I think is they probably were planning on. The only reason I didn't say that was because they're probably planning on anyway. But Haunted Mansion. And I love the idea though, like Scott said, you gotta, I think this is just for everybody. You have to see a sunrise and a sunset on the cruise. If you don't see that, it's almost criminal, because I think you said it best. Like, it puts things into perspective. You just, the world is so beautiful out there, especially, I just never see the ocean. I could stare at the ocean the entire cruise. Like, it's amazing. But the character interactions too. So I think that's great. You guys,
but dream specific though, I kind of like the goofy, like, mini golf course up there. Like, I think it's kind of silly. It's kind of fun. I don't know what Jake and Scott, they play golf or anything like that, but like, that's kind of fun thing. There's like a golf simulator too. So if they're like in the sports at all, like, there's some cool things you can do up there. So if they want to get a sports fix, that could be like a little fun thing for them to do on the Dream.
Okay, let's get to the next question. And Thomas, our good friend, says, I'm channeling Pam vibes here. Is there a dessert party or exclusive fireworks viewing during Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party in the Magic Kingdom? We'd love to see the fireworks, but don't want to waste time staking out a good spot. Thanks. Definitely channeling Pam Forrester with this one.
Yes, for sure. The good news is that there have been in the past, and it's some obscenely long name, Minnie's wonderful Christmas time fireworks dessert party. Like, somehow Minnie became responsible for the fireworks. But anyways, so it's Minnie's, that it has not been released yet for 2025. But I'm guessing we're going to see that at any day now, as we approach that 60 days prior to when the Christmas parties start. Then that will be there, because Disney will not miss that revenue opportunity. But it's just, I think, if you don't want to stay in there and get a good spot, and Thomas, I get it. That's my thing. Like, I want to be able to pay to not have to do that. And just for a number of reasons, like, you can go do other stuff until you're there, and you don't have to be standing there for an hour. It'll be interesting to see how, I think, Starlight sort of impacts all kinds of things like this. Like, are we going to see Starlight at any of the parties, or is it going to be, I don't know. Is it not going to be there because of the party? Are we going to see Starlight before the parks close for the party? That seems way too early. So I don't know what we'll end up seeing here with Starlight and how that will impact things, but I'm guessing they're going to have a dessert party for sure.
It is interesting, because when you think about this, when you think about like the timeline, like, we didn't have dessert parties when we had parades earlier, right? But like when Spectrum Magic and Main Street Electrical Parade were around, like,
we did.
Did we have dessert parties?
There were, because I remember seeing the parade from the fireworks viewing location. So
you guys having a hard time like getting the timelines.
I remember they had a special parade party, right?
Viewing
location during the Christmas party.
So we used to love, like, the Tony's. Like, that was our hack. It was like eating at Tony's and like eating on the like outside seating for like Spectro.
Yeah, that
was
getting
the late dining reservation. That was like our big hack.
I remember at one year though, you could do something where, like, I forgot what it was. It was like a cocoa and something, and then you got a reserved spot by the flagpole for the parade during the Christmas party.
Disney. It sounds like Disney.
Because I remember I didn't do it, but I remember like Mark Yerkes did it, I believe, and because we were talking about it once, but like, which I was like, man, that's crazy, because you could do then the dessert party, then you could have done that, like, and then the Heart Ticket event, like, you're in like big bucks.
You're right. I do remember that now, because I was like, it was like the most expensive night ever. I remember talking about that. Yes, now you say that. I was like, holy smokes. I do remember that. I think we were talking about that like on the V bulletin boards or something. But that was how long ago it was. Yeah, I do remember that.
But some nights, how much would you pay for a seat to wait?
Yeah, exactly.
An actual seat? I'm telling you, there are some nights where I'm like, okay, if I could have paid for a seat to sit here and wait for this to happen, I think I would have done it.
Oh, yeah.
They need a live auctioneer.
Yes, right.
Like, could you imagine?
Yes. Oh, seriously, though. Yeah.
Exactly.
They have stadium seating along Main Street.
Exactly.
I got a cushion. It's up 50. It's up 50.
Here's the StubHub tickets.
All right, we have another question from Steve. He says, my wife and I are going on a Disney cruise in November. We're planning another Disney cruise for 2026. My question is, can we book the cruise now and get the discount DCL offers when we're on our November cruise? So I think what he's asking is, can you book the cruise now and then apply a placeholder later? So unfortunately, that isn't how it works. We can't just take you can't take an existing cruise and then apply the placeholder to an existing cruise. You'd have to cancel and rebook. So in almost every instance, placeholder, the 10% discount is going to save you the money down the line. So it's very rare that you would get a better deal by booking early, but you never know. So the agent that's working with you can work through you with that, but most of the time the placeholder is going to save you the money.
And if you're going during a busy time, what I would do is just book it now and know that if you want to take advantage of the placeholder discount, then you're just going to cancel the one that you already have booked. And as long as you don't, you can always cancel that unless you're in some kind of restricted category, a suite or concierge or something like that. So just keep all that in mind.
Did we do this question about I think we did, but about the best sit-down meal non-character inside the Disney bubble? We did that one. Yes, we did that. We talked about that. Okay, we have a question here. Yeah, we talked about that. So, Fulton's got a great question. Now, we haven't seen the parade. Nobody's seen Starlight yet, right? In person. Mm-hmm. Ricky has, but Ricky's not here tonight. But she will be back soon. What's your favorite part of the Starlight Dream Parade at Walt Disney World? And now I've seen a little bit of coverage. I'm light on it because I haven't, been super spoilery. I like that train. I like the little whimsy train. I think that's a pretty cool little thing. I like that it kind of, and and I haven't, I'll be honest, I haven't watched the parade full through. I'm not into spoilers, but I do like that I've heard that there's nods to Main Street Electrical Parade in there. Make those connections to the past. I like that. There's a little music to it that connects. So I'm all in on that. Anybody else have any comments for Fulton?
I can't really add to it because I really haven't seen any coverage on it. So I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know how to answer that right now. Hopefully soon.
Yeah. Since the beginning, since we first got concept art from this and Disney had talked about it with us, I have loved that they were incorporating Coco because I love that movie, and just the float itself looks awesome. That it's a big float. It's kind of, you see the Coco, the whole thing, when you cross over that whole city and things like that. I love that. I love the idea of that. So
all right. It's still so new, and I can't wait to see this because I love nighttime parades of the Magic Kingdom. I love the light up, Main Street Electrical, Spectral Magic. And I'm dying to get to Disneyland to see Paint the Night because I haven't got to see it. Everybody else has seen it, but me and the whole world, it feels like. So can't wait.
It's a good one. Did you see it the last time it was there?
I've never seen it. I know.
Not ever.
No, not ever. I've never seen it. I know, because it was I hadn't gone out there because I guess it was gone by 22.
I'm pretty sure Southwest has direct flights out to Southern California, Mike. So
I'm going for the races in January, or I guess late January is when the races are. So, but yeah, maybe before then.
Maybe Pam, retirement little weekend,
Well, football, how it is soon. All right, Cindy has a question. Hey, Mike, Pam, Ricky, and Scotty G. I hope you all are doing well. I'm headed down for a solo trip in February and trying to plan my itinerary. I'm looking at 4 days of park time and trying to figure out what to do. So she's solo. Here's my question for each of you. What would your ideal solo day look like? Can we just be one park or hop around from park to park? Thanks for keeping the magic. Cindy up in Toronto, Canada. She's Cindy Lou 75 in the Discord. So very vague, but the solo day, just in general, Scott, if you're going down 1 day solo, what would your goal day be? Now, you have to dive into everything you're going to do, but what would you do with the solo?
So a solo day for me. So I don't like to be solo personally. I like to talk to people. So I would this is just a Scotty G answer. I'd probably go to like a lounge and not at Magic Kingdom because there's really not a lounge to go to right now. And just like grab a stool at one of the lounges and kind of talk to like a bartender and like just get social, you know, talk to other like patrons and just kind of see how people's days are going. So like have like a unique drink at each park, grab a little snack and maybe do a couple of attractions, take a couple selfies, do something kind of funny, and just kind of make my way around the parks that way, but just kind of interact with like the cast members because I think the cast are such a great asset to all the theme parks. So maybe just kind of interact with those bartenders at a lounge at each of the parks and then kind of end at Magic Kingdom and just hang out in Tomorrowland and just have fun riding the People Mover, Space Mountain, stuff like that. Cause that's one of my favorite lands. And my girls don't like Tomorrowland that much. So I would take advantage of that because I'm solo. I can do what I want.
That's a good point. Pam, you've been down many times solo. So how do you attack a solo day? What do you do?
So I feel like almost every solo day I spend some time in Epcot because I just love Epcot and I could just walk around the countries, you know. I could do that a lot. It's just a little eating, a little drinking, a little shopping, a little entertainment, you know, all of that. There's just so much to see. But I also think that one of the reasons why I like Epcot is that there are so many resorts there that I love that I can walk into Epcot. And I think that's something that's really appealing just to me every time. Every time we stay there, it's like there is always this draw between I want to try someplace I haven't stayed in a little bit, and I want to go back to the resorts that I know and love. And so, you know, that's the kind of thing. I think the other thing that I tend to do if I have solo time is sit by the pool and read for a little bit because I don't get as much time to do that at home as I want. I've been making much more of an effort this year. This was one of my goals to like read more than I typically do at home. When I'm on vacation, I need to load my Kindle because I read so much when I'm on vacation. We'll be in like day 3 and I'll be like, I've read like 4 books already. And Steve's like, come on now. But I read really fast. And so like I have to make sure that Kindle's loaded. But I love doing that by a Disney pool. And I think one of the things that's really fun about that is you get to hear all the pool noise in the background, like the laughing, the screaming, like that.
I need to because I miss my family a little bit though, because I can hear everybody interacting. And you know, like you don't have anybody to go play in the pool with, you know, like I do kind of miss that, but it is good. It's
good. I do like hearing that. And then like ordering a drink or some lunch to be brought to you at the pool. I think that's a pretty good day, and top it off with, you know, some lounge time in the evening. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good day.
Yeah. I agree. But the thing about being solo, which is a good thing, is you get stuff done so fast. Like it allows you, like you said, pool time. It allows you, like, if you want to go back to if you're in the summer, she'll be there in February. But like I was there in June, right? I mean, you can go back to the hotel and take like a good power nap in the afternoon and still have plenty of time in the day to go do all kinds of other stuff. If you get up early, you know, but you know, like if I go to the Magic Kingdom, and I decide, I'm going to get lunch. Like I don't have to just go to Casey's. Like I can hop over because I enjoy the transportation, right? Like make part of the day be riding the boat from the Magic Kingdom over to the Wilderness Lodge and go to Geyser Point, or ride a resort launch over to the Polynesian and get something at Captain Cook's. You know, I usually get counter service if I'm solo for the most part. Not necessarily the whole trip, but like most of the days I'll just do counter service. I don't have to make ADRs and it's simple, but you can go, you know, and get something, you know, easy, you know, without having to worry about, you know, reservations and stuff like that. But you can also sit down and dine because you can use that. I like to use that. What's that called? Like that walk up when you're in the proximity.
Yes.
And you can, you know, if one person, you can walk right up and get a lot of availability that way too. I've done that at Olivia's, you know, because those places always have availability. But, you know, the resort.
But depending on what the type of person you are, I would highly recommend sitting at like a bar so that you have people to talk to. I mean, that's just me, but maybe you're introverted and maybe that's why you're going solo and you just want to have a table to yourself. But me personally, I want to sit at a high top and just talk to the other people and the bartenders, because that's who I am.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer that, but I mean, I've also sat down at the tables by myself. They'll sit you like at the two-person table, and like I'll just mess with my phone. You know, I mean, if it's if it's at a living
downtime, and
I mean, if I'm getting the buttermilk chicken, dude, whatever, you know, buttermilk chicken in my phone, whatever, I'm good. Because I'll catch up with like posting pictures and, you know, stuff from the day and reading the news, and by that time, I got the buttermilk chicken and the biscuit in my belly. I'm like, let's go.
There you go.
That's a good point though. Lounges and being able to talk to the patrons around you and the bartender, good stuff. Here's a good question for Pam, because a couple of years ago you were down there for quite a while. Any experience going to the local breweries around Orlando, looking at Celebration Brewing because it seems to be really close, and going there by Uber and back? Do you guys go to, because you guys like breweries?
I know. I think that there's a Crooked Can brewery actually. I think it's in Winter Garden. They actually carry a lot of Crooked Can on Disney property. Well, one in particular, they almost always have High Stepper. But they've been carrying some other ones. I've noticed that too. I have not been to that one, but I'd like to. The one I'd really like to go to is Cigar City because I love that beer so much. And I know, see, and I just haven't made the drive down to there. It's further. It would be,
right.
You'd need to rent a car to do that. But they put out some great beer, and I think there's also the Celebration one. And I feel like there's another one in Windermere too.
I know Veronica was in the chat. I think Jason Veronica had been there, and I think Jason really liked it, the Celebration one, if I recall. I personally have not been there, but Cigar City, that's what I was going to say, Pam, but it's a hike.
It is.
So when I did it, is because I was flying out of Tampa, so it just worked out. So on our way back to the airport, I just stopped at Cigar City, and it is not what I thought it was, but it was great because I just love High Lie. I love a lot of their beers that they have there, but yeah, that's a good add-on there, Matt. Like to add on a little like brewery trip, while you're in the Orlando area. I like that. And Veronica is confirming that they do love the Celebration Brewery. So
there you go. The question I didn't think we'd get today, but there you go. We're at your service with our listeners, helping us out to live in Celebration. Jason Veronica, so thank you very much for that. All right, Carl's got a question. I'm hoping your team's past experience can provide an answer to this question, or at least advise how it was handled previously. With the return of the nighttime parade at the Magic Kingdom, does the parade occur on nights when the Halloween or Christmas parties occur? I am assuming the party parades may not be the standard nighttime parade. I also assume day guests have to leave before it gets dark, at least for Halloween parties. So this is probably just for Christmas, but will they run the nighttime parade before the early close for the day guests? And do you know, or is this TBD whether the evening parades will be different than the new evening parade, or will they expand the new version? Thanks, Carl from Franklin, Tennessee. So Pam, do you want to talk about how that works with when the Magic Kingdom closes for the Halloween and the Christmas parties, there's no nighttime parades for those days, right?
That is typically how it is. This is the issue, though, is that I will say in the period of time that I've been going to Disney World, there's probably been 5 different procedures for this. I mean, truly, there have been. But it doesn't look like, I'm looking on the day, actually, of the first Mickey's Not So Scary parade. Mickey
parade parties and fireworks.
Why Disney
has no scary parade? I love it.
Names too for everything. It does not look like they have the parade times there for that day. So chances are that will not be the case. They will not be showing the parade. And there's both good and bad. It was really weird in the time where we were going to Disney, that we started going to Disney World all the time. That was definitely a time where they were not offering the parade and were not offering fireworks during that. I think it'll be interesting to see how it happens, but you do have, if you're going to the party, you do have parade and fireworks for that, but it will not be Starlight. And I don't know how guests are going to feel about that, especially since it's so new, but I guess it's a good, you got to go more than once for sure. So
that's a great question, because say we take a step back in time from, let's look at like October 25 to October 24. Like in October 24, obviously the best parade you could have seen on property would have been Mickey's Boo to You parade. Agreed? I mean, obviously, right? But do you think in October of 25, the best parade on property is going to be Starlight?
I don't know. I think that's always the thing, that because of that, if you're planning on those days, and this is why actually I think in this year more than other years in the past years, the day to go to the Magic Kingdom is going to be the day where there is a party, because there will be lots of people who avoid the Magic Kingdom on party days for that very reason, because they won't get to see the parade and they won't get to see the nighttime fireworks. So for those of you who have park hoppers, I would absolutely plan on going to the Magic Kingdom on a party day.
No.
You're going to see less crowds because not everyone gets hoppers, and you're going to see people just avoiding the parks on those days. And then you can always go back and catch the parade and fireworks on another night when you've spent the whole rest of the day at one of the different parks. So,
yeah, and as Jennifer says here from the Westplex of St. Charles County, Missouri, it wouldn't be dark enough during Halloween season, but it would be great if they did starlight during the Christmas season once the time changes.
It would be, but I can't see them not including the Christmas parade. I can't see that happening.
I know. It's such a great parade, and it's going to have great following. All right, let's get to one last question. This is a tough one. Francis killing us here with this last question in the chat, but you got it in before the show ended, so I'm going to put it out here, even though it's kind of painful, because it's going to be a thinker for our audience. Everybody's walking the dog on the treadmill, running around your lake on mile 18 of that long run today. Here you go. You got something to contemplate. Here it is. We're going to try. If you were gifted a week-long stay at any Walt Disney World resort, which would you stay at? But the catch is, after your stay, you're never allowed to stay at that resort again. Oh. So you get a free stay at this resort, but you can't ever stay there again. So I'm not picking a favorite resort, man, because I want to be able to go back.
Yeah.
I mean, because even though like it's enticing to take a free stay for a week, man, I want to go back.
I know, but I don't want to necessarily pick the All-Stars because I don't want to stay at the All-Stars for a week.
I know, like I love all the resorts so much. I'm never wanting to throw one out forever because they all.
I think I know my answer, but
it's just tough.
But I'm going to say my answer, then I'm going to ask the two of you a question. Okay.
All right, go for it.
So if I say the Treehouse, can I still stay at Saratoga proper?
No.
I can't.
I would say no, because it's part of Saratoga. No.
Okay, well then that's not my answer.
Yeah, why would you say it? Because that's part of Saratoga. Like I
agree. Yeah, it's part of the resort. You know what? I have an answer. I'd say at a family suite at All Star Music, and then
music's out.
Yeah,
music's out.
No more music. Okay.
I can't get rid of any of the other ones. Frankly, I wouldn't do it. I actually would turn down the prize.
You would say
I would say no, thank you.
No, but yeah, that's
I would. It's not worth it to me because for different reasons at different times. Yeah, I couldn't.
I would also do a suite, but mine would be at Art of Animation because I kind of don't care for Art of Animation that much. Granted, we've only stayed in the Little Mermaid rooms years ago, and those were not my favorite room category.
And you only have 3 in your family, like I do. So it's like those rooms that accommodate like however many people those accommodate are like, I'm like, I don't care. There's like 2 or 3 of us. Like
exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. But I mean, and I'm not necessarily not knocking Art of Animation, but if I'm going to stay in that area, I want to stay at Pop Century. So I'll go with Art of Animation.
I have the right answer.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm picking the Dolphin. Because I'm going there, dude, for a week and living it up and having all that proximity. And I'm going to go like during a festival or something, like or Christmas, or like sometime I'm going to be like by Epcot, the studios, live it up. I don't really care if I go back there ever again. Really, they're not my jam. I've stayed there once.
Except that there will be some time where you need to be in the Epcot or Hollywood Studios area, and everything else is sold out.
I do not like the Swan and the Dolphin. It's not my thing. Like it's a hotel. Like I would rather be at the All Stars than a Swan or a Dolphin. Just my personal preference.
I see that.
But if you're gonna give me like a week stay and I can pick where I'm gonna go, I would take it. You know what I'm saying? Like I would take it for a week for free and be cool with never going to go there again. Like that would be the situation I would like. Like I would do it for a week for free and never go back again. And that's the only like, and some people are like, because I know some people love the swan and the dolphin. They're like, Mike, stop. We're going to throw you off that big triangle. But that's what I would do because I get good value out of it. I don't know what people say about that because the other one, I mean, because I'm like you guys, the other way I'd go is like an all-star. Dude, that's terrible value because I wouldn't want to throw anything else away.
Yeah, but you're not getting a good value for your free stay though when you go over the all-star. But
yeah, that's a tough call.
But yeah,
we're gonna have to bring this one up on Sunday night.
That's a tough question. Yeah,
that is a great question though, because man, it kind of makes it hurt.
I would say no thank you.
Throwing it away.
I'll be honest.
I know. I think I might say no thank you as well.
No thank you.
I want to keep staying at all the resorts.
Right. Yes. It was nice, but no thank you.
Nice offer.
Guys,
I'll gift it to somebody else.
Like, I'd say, can I get a cash equivalent instead?
No, you can't do that. This is not hot potato. Like you get, this was giving you a free stay at Walt Disney World. You can't be like, ooh, no, thanks. So what? That is how this works.
I'm not saying no thank. Well, I'm saying no thank you.
It's gonna be like on the Ocho. Like, who wants to? It's a free stay at Disney World. Oh no, hot potato. This is the thing comes on 11 o'clock after the big pillow fight.
I'm gonna give it to you, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. Let's go to the Swan. I mean, I'm fine with it.
Mike's gonna
Swan's not a bad consolation.
He'll be the dolphin, the swan, and the swan reserved.
Yeah, because I'll eat at Rosa Mexicana. I'll have the fountain. I mean, it's good. Like, let's go. But I don't care to never go back. Shout out Russ. Glad to see Russ back in here.
Hey, Russ.
All right.
Kind of Walt Disney World.
Yes. All right. So he had a rough time getting home too, didn't he? We've had a lot of folks.
There's been a lot of flight delays.
So I'm saying it's great to go to Walt Disney World. I'm just saying, not so easy getting home for our listeners over the past month or two. Just have a good time because getting home might take you a couple days. It's tough, but it's always worth it. Yeah, look at that. And Francis says Mike found a way to hack the game.
Francois did not think you were gonna. They probably would have rephrased the question that not including the swan and dolphin, but you found a hack.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Right.
All right. This is why I try to get on Big Brother. I try to win that game, but that's another day for another story. All right.
It was a good question. It was just painful.
It was
a
that's
painful question.
Should be. We appreciate those. All right. So again, we'll talk about that on Sunday night in the live call-in show. So let's jump out of here. Remind you that we will have a call-in show on Sunday night. That'll be 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, and all the places: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. And hope you'll join us for that. And that'll be with Scotty G. So plan on that. Don't forget, our shows are always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get to your favorite destination: Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, even seeing the world with Adventures by Disney. And the best part, no additional cost to you. So check out all the details this week over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. You're getting those back to school supplies. Just click through that link and support the show at the same time. Again, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us on the air, which helps us out so very much. You can support us just $5 a month. And for that support, get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Join us also in the clubhouse. That's where the show just never stops, 24/7. The best place on the internet. Great Disney fans talking Disney, talking live 24/7. beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. Free for everybody. Coming over. We'll welcome you this week. And join us on the social media. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike on Instagram, x.com, and Threads. You can join Pam, TMFLT Pam, in those same locations. Scott is at Epscott, EPSCOT, in those places. But check them out at Must See Adventures on YouTube. Scotty G, real quick, what's happening on the channel this week?
We're at the North Shore in Hawaii and hanging out at Waimea Falls, hanging out at the North Shore, and dinner at, I know, that sounds like a broken record here, at the North Shore, and then, but to our Alani fans, so you got to tune in though for the very end of it. We have dinner at Ama Ama. So you ever been curious about what the signature? I know, Bam, you've been to Ama Ama. Do you like that spot? Do you like
I
Ama
do.
Ama?
I really do.
It's so good, isn't it?
Great dinners there. It was just, it's a great location.
Yeah. So we have the wine pairing, cocktails. It's a great meal. So if you've been curious about that, you might want to check out that episode. So like and subscribe.
That's right. So little Hawaii is in your future. It Must See Adventures. Get over there, like and subscribe. All right, we're going to jump out of here, and We're going to take you out to sea on Friday's show. Finally getting to it. The recap from the podcast cruise back last month on the Disney Magic. We're going to talk staterooms online, onboard dining, the entertainment, the shows, the tastings, our serving team, all the fun with our listeners. We're going to talk about it all. So come on back on Friday for all the fun. Can't wait to head back and recap all that. So until then, we hope you have a great Wednesday. Stay safe. Stay healthy, and don't miss getting over there on Friday for ESPN The Ocho. We're going to see that coverage. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you real soon. All right, let me save that one.
All right, I'm going to bounce.
All right, thanks. I'll see you next week.
All right, see you next week. Bye.
All right, let me save this one real quick.
You're booking a flight for Friday, aren't you?
The Ocho. Dude, I can just see what is that, Jason Bateman or whatever? Like,
oh yeah, I know. It's a bold strategy, God, and let's see if it pays off.
Really cracks me up. Bold move, Cotton. I just had to read that because I saw that this afternoon. I was like, this can't be.
I swear I get a lot of my news from you. I love it.
I just happened to see that this afternoon on Twitter. I was like, that can't be real. I was like, I got to put that in the show. Because we didn't have a whole lot of questions. I was like, dude, we got to stretch this.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I wish I could have got that. I should have got that from Dodgeball. I should have got that intro, the ESPN 8, the Ocho. I'll pull up my pictures.
Oh yeah.
Close on.
Oh man, I want to be back on this ship.
For real. ESPN 8, the Ocho. All right, here we go. 2736. So this will be August on this show.
Oh yeah, August 1st.
Whoa.
The Ocho.
The Ocho. Kill that banner. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2736 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you and welcome to August. Can't believe we've made it already there. Don't worry, teachers. Hopefully you still have a few more days of summer. I know I said August. I gave you a cold sweat. It's still summer. It's still hot. And actually, I think we're going to have a great weekend, but we're going to have a good time. We're heading out to sea today, recapping the Be Our Guest Podcast Cruise last month on the Disney Magic. Yes, we did our pre-cruise show a couple of weeks ago, talking about the boardwalk, Rosa Mexicana, great meal there. The meetup at Splitsville, a lot of fun there as well. But we're finally going to make that fun trek from Walt Disney World over to Port Canaveral, arrive at the terminal, get on the ship. We're going to talk about it all today. So to do that, my brother from another mother, the co-host of the show, Scotty G from Must See Adventures. Scott, happy Friday. What's up?
Happy Friday, Mike. I'm so psyched for the Ocho. I hope you're tuned in today.
Dude, I've cleared my schedule. I mean, I think it starts at like 11 o'clock Eastern all the way to the pillow fight at 10 o'clock tonight. I mean, professional pillow fighting. What's going on?
I think CBS has called you like, Mike, like, where are you? Like, why aren't you watching the feeds?
I mean, I was hoping I'd get called. I got the headset mic, like for remote broadcasts, like Cotton, bold move. I'm ready.
Yeah. But I am so excited to talk about the Disney Magic. It was magical, right? I've been waiting to do this. It was an awesome cruise. It was anticipation, was building up. I hadn't never sailed this ship. You hadn't sailed it since like the inaugural sailings in '98, right? So a lot of excitement, and I'm ready to talk about it with you today.
Yeah, so so we can kind of lay some groundwork because people listen to shows years down the line, or right now. It's a great thing about podcasting. Who knows when you'll hear this show? So we sailed the Disney Magic. I can't remember, July 6th to the 11th, I believe. Now it's been a minute. It's been about a month now, and it was a 5-night sailing to the Bahamas, and we stopped at 3 ports. We stopped at Nassau, we stopped at Castaway Cay, and Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. It was our first time ever going to Lookout Cay. So we'll talk about that. So 5 nights sailing on the Disney Magic. And like you said, first time for you on the Magic, first time for me on the Magic since '98. And we'd sailed, the Wish, and we'd sailed the Dream and the Fantasy. We've been on the big ships for quite a bit. So we're going to talk about that perspective in a second, but we left off in our last show a couple of weeks back we did a pre-cruise stay at the boardwalk, had a little fun over there. But then we took a like a kind of big van from private transfer from the boardwalk over to Port Canaveral. Fine. It was great. It was, we had a great driver there, very kind, very nice, talked to us all the way over.
Yeah, he was from Michigan. He was from Flint, Michigan, and then moved to New York. We got his whole life story in that ride. It was awesome.
He was awesome. He was a great guy. So dropped us off. We got there super early. I mean, and again, because you got to schedule what time you got to get dropped off. And if you know Mike Rallman, dude, if you are not early, you're late. And so we were like the very first people there. So we just hung out there under the shade. It was hot, but we hung out in the shade there waiting we were there probably before the workers at Port Canaveral, but we just hung out, waited, and we were there way before they even put times on the signs. But we were one of the first people to go in. And Scott, what were your thoughts on arrival and then going into the terminal? Because they did have some IT issues as we came in that morning.
Yeah, I would say the ride was smooth, and this is one of my favorite days ever. Just
the best day. And I'm so jealous because you're going to get to have this next month here in about 30 days, less than 30 days.
Yeah. The excitement, the build up, just kind of going back to the boardwalk a little bit. You went for a run. I was out there, we met up, we had breakfast, and we were like children on Christmas Eve, or Christmas morning, we were so excited. Yeah. And the ride was great. When you see the ship, it's just you get goosebumps, right? You just get this tingly feeling when you see the ship. But as Mike said, way too early. We're the first ones in that section. But yeah, the IT issues was weird. None of our Magic bands could work. So you get into the system, and the cast members are so excited to greet you. They check your documentation, passports, birth certificates, whatever you had to sail. And then they're checking our Magic bands, and mine doesn't work. And I'm like, dang. Well, try Elizabeth's. Doesn't work. Try Emily's. Doesn't work. I'm like, all right, well, just get us through. We'll use Key to the World cards. I don't care. And then I look over, and I saw you and Pam were having issues too. I'm like, oh, it must be their system, right? So we got through there, and then you go through security. Security was a breeze, right? Because we were the first ones through, right? So that was really easy. Funny story about this. We'll get to it in a second. We were the first ones in. When would we board the ship? Were we the first ones? We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, the security was easy. I love that escalator ride when you get up right to the top of the terminal, and then you see the ship model, and that's when you're just we're here. We're finally here. We're going to be sailing here in a little bit.
Yeah, it is awesome when you go out of the main terminal. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't in Port Canaveral, because it depends. If there's 2 ships in, you might go out of kind of the secondary terminal, but if you get the big one, it's awesome. They're both great. I mean, it doesn't, but there's one that's that's the main one. And we were in that one this day, and it was awesome, right? You get the cast member, the crew there, you can high five with Mickey Mitts, and you're just in there, and you're going to wait a while because again, we're super early. We knew that. So we just kind of walked around, got pictures. We ended up getting pictures with, was it Mickey?
With the ship model, actually, I think is what we did.
Oh yeah. Nobody came out yet.
Yeah.
We were super early. Yeah. So we got with the model and got, saluting and all that kind of stuff. But then we got a little rumor that somebody came over and what we had somehow she recognized that our Magic bands were not linked. She said, come over here for a second, over to the side, and got our IT issue solved. We didn't have to wait in the long line. She said, come on.
We cut people or something. I don't know.
We didn't really cut people, but for some reason, a cast member just identified us that we had a problem, and I don't know how she identified us, but she said, can we help you? And I'm like, well, we're just, our Magic bands aren't linked. She said, well, come over to this kiosk 37 or, the station 37, which wasn't open. And so we did. We all traveled together in a group, and boom, she just took our Magic bands. It was working all of a sudden, and we were linked and good to go. So they did solve the problem once the system came back online. So they fixed it quickly.
That was great. And you're talking about the different terminals that they have there. So yeah, so sometimes if there's 2 ships in port, because the Wish is I think if the Wish is in port, there's sometimes there'll be multiple issues there. But if you're in the main one, what I really love about that, they have a little walkout where you by the concierge area where you can just get a great photo of the ship. And that's one of my favorite things to do. So if you're sailing out of the main terminal where they have like the mouse ears where you walk through when you get to the ship, I just love walking out there. So that was like my first real look at the Magic. So it was cool. And it seemed, I was worried like it was going to be super small, right? Compared to like the Dream and the Fantasy and the Wish. But when you're still standing there, right? Like it still looks like a huge ship. Like, I mean, it's a ship, right?
Yeah.
So like we're just taking photos of it. I'm like, man, it looks great. And you're like, yeah, but look at the vessels. Look how close those vessels are at the top. I'm like, oh yeah, they do look a little bit closer than like the Dream and the other ships. But I just love that. So we took some photos with our families and all that, and then we grabbed a seat in the waiting area because they weren't boarding any groups yet to get on the ship yet. And then it was kind of great. We kind of like all the listeners that were like sailing with us kind of like all like grouped together like in the waiting area. So it was kind of great. We were just getting hugs and started meeting everybody and all that. We're just kind of like forming our team of listeners before we all started getting our boarding groups called.
Yep. Everybody started to congregate, meet up, hugs, greetings, and, got into, the kids started to meet each other, which was really cool. And I love that. And that was really awesome. What we found out too is that, like I'm platinum and, and it's so random, right? Like I was boarding group 9. I think you were boarding group 8, you're gold. There were first time cruisers that were boarding group 3 and 4. Like and I was up at midnight trying to check in. Like there was no rhyme or reason what boarding group you were in this situation. Like it was wild. I mean, and like we took private transfers over. It was usually it shakes out a little different. So boarding group numbers were wild this time. I know because who cares? It's like a 15-minute difference, and I had to go talk about dining anyway, so it was fine.
I know it was wild. It seemed like we were like the last people to board though, which was fine though. It was fine.
But we're like, I mean, and the thing is, you got to understand, Scott and I, he said it perfectly. We're like kids on Christmas morning. I mean, we got there so dang early, like we were going to be allowed on that ship at 10. We know we're not going to be allowed in there. It's the rules. Like we knew this, and like we're going to, like the ship's going to leave early because no, but we are just like, we can't help ourselves because we are so excited about cruising that we just, what time should we get at Port Canaveral? 10 o'clock? No, like there's no reason to get there that early, but we can't help ourselves. So that's how we are. Anyway, so we get through the car, and it's like you see boarding group 1 and you're so slow. Boarding group 2, like, dude, can you make them faster? Boarding group 3, can we get to 9? Let's go. Anyway, so we get there.
The great thing about that though is like you hear the chime, like the do 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 do. I love that chime.
I know that's the best sound. I keep saying I need to make that my text sound, but I forget.
Well, you got the monorail. That's a good
text. The monorail, but that sounds better than the monorail. Okay, so we get our pictures in there and so forth, like you said, get the overlook there, and we go through, and there's nothing better than when you like walk through that like little skyway there to when you actually enter the ship and they announce you onto the ship. It's one of the best things Disney Cruise Line. What's your family name, and then you're on the ship. So let me get your first impressions because it's your first time on a classic ship. I got to hear what you think.
I couldn't believe how small it was.
Exactly.
So like I'll say like this is one thing I was kind of spoiled on. Like I saw like some video, but like I just thought the videos just didn't show the whole thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, the videos I saw just weren't panning to the right enough. No, they were showing the whole thing. That atrium is like half the size of the other ships. Like I didn't understand it. I was so confused. Like I was like, where's the other half of this ship? Like I don't get it. But by the end of it, like it made sense to me. Like, but like it just took me a while to like adjust and understand the atrium. But at first I looked so lost. I'm like, where am I? This doesn't feel right. But it was cute though. But at first I was really confused.
Well, especially after being on like the Wish and the Treasure and that class, like they call it the Grand Atrium, and it is grand because it's almost like a ballroom when you go in there now, like to see, because they have these, it's an event space.
Yes.
But it's not that on the Magic of the Wonder. It is just a place it's a pass through. It's like a little pass through to go to like Lumiere's or Triton's or whatever you have. You got the statue, and then
the guest services is like right over there, or the elevators, and then that's it. That's all that's over there to the right. There's nothing else. Like I thought there should be like another hallway or something, but it's a wall. There's nothing.
But somebody online compared this, and I think it is a great comparison. Like, you know, like the lobbies of like the Dream, the Fantasy, the Treasure, the Wish. It's kind of like the castle at Walt Disney World. They're grand and they're spectacular. Where the lobbies for the Wonder and the Magic are kind of like Disneyland, like Sleeping Beauty Castle. They're quaint and they're comfortable. And Pam, just kind of spoiler, just real quick, like we were walking around later that day after we had lunch up on the top deck. And Pam had never been, well, she'd been on the Wonder a few years ago. So she had been on a classic ship. But she says, you know, at first it kind of did feel small. Like she goes, but after like, she says, we've been on the ship now for like 5 or 6 hours. She goes, now it just feels kind of right. She goes, it didn't take long for my body to kind of, or my mind to kind of adjust that we're on deck 9 instead of deck 11 and everything. It doesn't feel small anymore. She says it did feel kind of small for a few hours, but now it's okay. Like it's fine.
I like
it's
that.
the right size. And I thought she was right. Like,
you know, she's totally right. And it was really that moment right there is where it really felt the smallest. It was just like, where's the extra space in this atrium? Like you said, grand. Like it was not grand. But I'll tell you later in the trip though, you just adjusted to it, and it did feel more like grand, I would say, but it felt more like an atrium. But as someone that went backwards in time, like Rhonda leaves in the chat, like she did the Magic first, like so that progression is right, where I did the Dream and Wish first. Like, it's like I went back in time, like this didn't feel right. But yeah, I just love it. And I love that Mickey statue in there.
Oh, so good. That might be my favorite one because it's so classic with like this, and it's modeled after a real statue, I think in Boston. But like the sailor with the you know, rain gear on, that is so classic.
So
I think
good.
Yeah, that is so good. Okay, so we get on, of course, you go to the buffet first, get, you know, up to Cabanas and check that out. We got some dining issues solved, and shout out to the head waiter. He took care of us. We had the tables together. It was great. What did you think? Let's compare, because I know you're not a big fan of Marceline Market and the layout. I'm not either. I prefer Cabanas. So what did you think of Cabanas on the Magic overall? Let's break that venue down.
I thought it was great. So I thought, I mean, it's smaller. That's going to be a theme for this ship,
Yep.
right? It was smaller than like the Cabanas on the Dream and Fantasy. And so because of that, because it's a smaller ship, it was a smaller Cabanas. It still felt crowded at times, but I'll tell you, like we were able to find seating with no problem. We're like Marceline Market sometimes, like, man, you just could not find seating like on the times I've been on the Wish. So I thought it was great. I thought the food spread was great. You know, it was really easy to find what you were looking for, easy to find like our families, like when we had our tables reserved. So like I was really happy with the offerings there at Cabanas.
Yeah, I agree. The food was outstanding up there. And like for some reason it was, I mean, even on the Fantasy and the Dream, like it was easy to find a table.
That's what I'm saying. It was easy.
We never fought for a table, and we never even sat outside. Like there's usually a time during any of the cruises where we do sit outside just because it's like easier to find a table outside because all the inside tables are taken. I mean, during breakfast, lunches, there was always ample tables inside. I don't know if our cruise was sold out, but I mean, I want to say, it was July 6th. Like it's a prime time to sail. It had to be close.
It had to be close to full, right? I'd imagine. But yeah, I just love the availability, and not to jump too far ahead. Like I enjoyed the spread every day in Cabanas. Like, so, I mean, we weren't eating every meal in there, but like they had like a fajita, like a fajita taco special one day.
That I said, I didn't know that. You said, hey man, they have fajitas. I was like, I'm running.
I know. You might have already had lunch earlier, like somewhere else that day, like a pizza or something, but that changed quick for you. Like,
yes.
So like, yeah, and like I just loved like the specials that they were doing. They just had some unique offerings. One day, I forgot what day it was, but they had like it was the last day, I think. Because yeah, it was the day we had Apollo brunch. They had like an Indian cuisine spread, really good. So they had like naan bread and hummus and all this. So like they had some cool like themes every day for lunch at Cabanas, which I thought was fantastic. So really impressed. I give it like a high score. Their Cabanas was really awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. So overall the ship, let's just talk overall the ship, like, because this is the oldest ship in the fleet. I mean, obviously since 98. So it's almost 27 years old. The OG, of them all. I mean, I got to say, like, this ship looked great. Like, because I was even like, I've seen YouTube videos and stuff, and people were saying like, there's a few like little, bangs and stuff in the staterooms, but I didn't even really see that in my stateroom. Like I was looking, of course, like there's going to be, a few things here and there, but this ship looked to me amazing. Like
It-
I thought it looked pretty still stinking new for me.
I thought it looked really stinking new. I mean, the only place where I would say there would be some bangs, and like you would just, I think you would see this on the Dream and other ships too, is just like in the bathroom a little bit. I think just like some of the tile just like kind of has some wear and tear, you know, which it's 25 plus years old. Like that's going to happen, right? But like the railings were so nice. So anywhere you went, the carpet's super fresh. I mean, the paint on the walls were great. But you and I and Elizabeth talked about this a lot, and Pam too. Like we always saw crew members, and I saw this on this ship more than I've ever seen on another one. I don't know if it's because of the magic being older, or maybe this is just maybe I'm going to look for this on my sailing up on the Dream too, if they're doing this just more across Disney Cruise Line. But the touch-ups on this ship was constantly happening. You always saw someone like painting something somewhere, even like the smallest detail.
Yes.
Like, right?
Like, I mean, seriously, almost like with like a Q-tip. I mean, it was like they were.
One time in the adult pool, I saw this guy with a Q-tip just touching up this little piece of tile.
Yeah.
Like that is the Disney difference right there, right?
Yeah. Because I saw like him doing that, and then like a supervisor came out and like approved it or disapproved it.
Yes,
like,
yeah. We were talking about the same thing. Yes,
yeah, exactly. He came out and he was kind of like looking it over, kind of like, you know, looking at his, like scratching his chin, like, is that good enough? I'm thinking, man, this is something, because it was like at the adult pool.
And those crew members were so friendly too. So on the Disney Cruise Line, like the doors are kind of automatic. Like you kind of have to wave in front of this thing for the doors to open. And right there by the adult pool, there's like these doors, and there's a guy like painting like a ceiling kind of by those doors one day. And so I went over there to like wave it, but no, he was like, no, sir, let me wave it for. So he's painting. Okay. And he stops me. He's like, no, let me get that for you. And he was like, started waving. So like, he didn't have to do that. Like he's doing his job, like painting and all this, but like, no, he was like, no, like I'm going to make sure I'm going to open the door still for this guest, even though like I'm doing like this maiden's work. Like that's just the kind of level of service. Like he did not have to do that. He's got a whole nother task he's working on. Yeah. He's still opening doors for guests. Like I just love that from Disney Cruise Line.
That's kind of stuff that just sticks with me forever. Like that is, I love that. Okay, so we got to hit all this stuff. So we got so much. So
I know, maybe we could talk like 8 hours.
It's going to be like a 2-hour show, and I don't want it to be 2 hours. So let's talk about the dining rooms, the rotational dining. So we had Lumiere's, we had our Animator's Palette, and we had the Rapunzel's. So of those three, I think we both are in agreement that we liked Animator's best, Animator's Palette, I think.
Yeah, especially from like a theming perspective too. Like the OG
was cool too. Rapunzel's was cool, but OG, I think I like what you're saying. Like it brought it. Yeah,
it brought it because you can go to Animators on the Dream and Fantasy, but there was just something about the OG version with like how the lights worked in there in the ending, the ending show. I don't necessarily want to spoil it, but like very, very cool finale to that meal. It got me psyched at the end of that meal. But I really enjoyed Animators. Rapunzel's was great too. I will say, and this is how I feel about the show on the Wish too, the Frozen one. Kind of where your seating kind of depends on a lot of how that experience goes. And we had a good seat. Like we're kind of like right next to like kind of like a porthole, or kind of like next to a wall, like in the end. And we're all close to our group, which was great. But we were very far from the stage. Like, wouldn't you agree? So that kind of like, I mean, it doesn't hurt the experience. The experience was great, but it could have been better for more like centered in the restaurant. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that is kind of one of the things. And those, I will say too, and this is totally an opinion on these things. People have different opinions, but you know, this is true of the Rapunzel's dinner and the dinner on the Wish, the Frozen dinner, those meals. And again, this is great for kids, but man, those meals are chaotic. I mean, they are wild. Like there's a lot going on. Like they're bringing out your food and your appetizers and your salads and your soups and while this is going on, I mean, there's like a flute player and a person with a accordion coming by. And I mean, it's wild. I mean, but I mean, that's kind of, you know, it's one night of your cruise and it's fun. I mean, but I did like that the characters do come by. Like you get to meet Rapunzel, you get to meet, what are the other guys called? Those two other guys. They're they
The
got
ruffians or something, like Emily like had like a nickname for them. Ruffians, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean they're hilarious, dude. They're so funny, you know, when they talk to you and stuff, and they pose for pictures, and they're, you know, making sure that the guys are taking care of their, you know, the wives and everything, and making sure, you know, they get everything they want.
Yeah, the storyline is great. I love
man,
it.
they stick to their characters so well. But yeah, it was just, you know, they do a great job with the meal. But I'm just telling you what, like you got to be prepared when you go in that it's going to be high energy. Like it's intense. So like if you go in with like a head, and I loved it. Like I thought it was fun, but I mean, it's like the pace of everything is just, this
is
wild.
Another example of like wearing multiple hats and multiple roles on cruise lines. So when we're on the Wish, like there was this great band called the Wishers that we loved on our last cruise, and they would perform in the bayou like several times during the cruise. And then during the Pirate Parlay, we would look down, there's like a live band, and we were like, I think that's the Wishers just wearing like pirate gear, you know. But we saw this on the Magic too. Like there was this great duo. Remember in O'Gills that one night, that duo. Yeah. Pretty sure they were the duo 100%. That was playing in Rapunzel.
They were 100%. They were 100%.
I just love how they like utilize their cast and crew to like play these multiple hats. But there's like a hot take or maybe a not so popular opinion about these meals too. So I am one that does not look at the menus ahead of time.
Yep.
Like, so you have, and that's great with the Disney Cruise Line. You can like go into the Navigator app and you can read the menus ahead of time. Like I know you were so well prepared. You knew what you were ordering at every meal.
Because I'd seen all the vlogs. Because I was so cruise crazy. I'd watch too many vlogs.
Yeah, and that's great. And sometimes you just might want to know because like you just might plan what you eat earlier in that day differently because of what you want to have at dinner. I mean, that could be smart. But so I sit down and like I'm a chatty guy, as you all know. Like I'm chatting right now. So like I'll sit down and I want to talk to everybody. How's your day going? And I'm not looking at the menu and all that. But at these kind of meals, they push you because they have to hit the timing right? Because like exactly. your entree has to come or your appetizers have to come because that's the time to the show. So like they really push you on ordering here and I'm never ready.
Rock, dude. What do you exactly? Give me an app. Give me a soup salad.
Yeah. So a word of advice on those kind of meals, like you might want to look at the app ahead of time and just kind of figure out what you want because they will definitely rush you on your ordering because they want to make sure the servers are out of the way and they can time your meal correctly so that you can enjoy the show with your meal.
Nice. Okay, so let's talk. Okay, so I mean, all the Lumiere's was, you know, it's like kind of the fancier like French cuisine that was good. It didn't have like a shtick to it. You know, and not everyone has to have it, right? I mean,
that might have had my favorite food quality wise, though.
And I think that's how it should be. I mean, honestly, because you know, like Animator's Palette's going to have like the classic Disney Rapunzel's Royal Tables, like the dinner show, you know, and it's got good food. But then, you know, Lumiere's doesn't have like the show aspect to it, so it should feature the food, which is, I think, kind of the triple threat kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. I believe, I think that's where I had like a filet that night, like the one of the nights there. Yeah, and I was really impressed with that. I thought the theming of the restaurant was really good. They had like a nice mural in the back, like a Beauty and the Beast thing in there. But one thing, I think we might have hit on some of the Sunday live shows, but with all of these restaurants and with the size of the Magic, like the size and the scope just like threw me off. Like they were so much smaller, like how we could see the other side of the restaurant with ease, where like you're on the other ships, like you might be able to see one side, but that's just 1/4 of the restaurant. Like it curves and turns around to a whole nother thing. So the restaurants are significantly smaller, and it just felt like a restaurant back home almost to a certain degree, like how you can just see every single table from where you're sitting. And I thought that was kind of neat. It just felt more homey in a way, you know,
comfortable. Like I kept saying that, like it I don't even know why, but just it made me feel more comfortable when you can see the whole restaurant. Like it didn't feel like it was so just ginormous. Which I mean, there's something to be said for that. I don't mind it, like being on the Wish or the Dream or the Fancy. It's fine. But I was just like, oh, like.
But it made you feel more comfortable in a way. Like I can see all the guests in here. Like I know who's all in here.
I don't know why. Like once you said that, I'm like, yeah, you can. Like I wouldn't have thought about that unless you said it. And then once you said it, I'm like, dang, you can see the whole restaurant. And I'm like, I like that. I don't know why that care. Why do I care? Like,
We shouldn't, but like it hit with me every time we got seated in a new restaurant. I was like, I would like couldn't turn my head around. I'm like, oh yeah, I can see all 4 walls. Okay, cool.
So wild. Okay, so one other thing while we're talking dining, then we'll shift gears. Palo. We did Palo twice. We did brunch and we did dinner. So you're more the fan. And again, it's my best meal that I have every year because we don't do like California Grill.
It is like the best meal though. It's so good.
It's so good. I mean, it was a home run for us. We loved it. You know, we had the chocolate souffle. We had a filet steak for dinner that night, and just the buffet or the brunch was so good. I had the Mickey waffle. I had my eggs Benedict. All my chicken parm. I have my classics I always get, and it's just the service is outstanding. The environment's outstanding. The company was amazing. It's just great. It was just such a
I mean, there's not much more we can add to like the food, but I will say like the environment, the theming of that Palo was like unlike anyone I've ever seen. And Liz is so much better about like noticing these kind of details than me. And I think it was after we got off, she was like, we were talking about the Palo. She's like, did you pick up on like on the Venice vibe of that? And like, so you walk in and like they have like all these masks like laid out, and then like you see like these gondola poles, like there's Venice all over there. And I didn't really think about it when I was in the restaurant, but then I'm looking back at photos and videos of like, oh my God, like that is incredible. Like how they decorated that. And like, it's even in the bathrooms too, Mike, it was even in the restroom. So like from the second you get off the elevator to go to Palo, like you're just like transformed to like this whole new theming of a place. Like it was so well thought out of, and I think it's the most romantic and most decorated Palo of them all that I've been to.
Yes, I agree. To me, it's the best Palo in the fleet. It's beautiful. And by the way, Palo means pole in Italian. So that's why.
There you go. That's why. See, and the open kitchen was great too. Like you could just see them like you had the pizza section over there, and like you could see the chefs back there preparing the meals. It was just. And lucky for us, so we had the Bankheads with us for brunch, which was awesome. And we had that centered table, like right in the middle of the restaurant. Like I just felt like a VIP. Like it was so cool.
What was so funny is we had dinner there previously, and we saw that table, and we said, "Oh, I wonder who gets to sit at that table." Like we sat down because we didn't get that table for dinner. Then we came back the next day or a couple days
2 or 3 days. That was like a couple days later. Yeah,
a couple days later, like. And then they sat us at that table. We're like, whoa, look at us. We're sitting at the table.
I did see there was a private room, like kind of tucked away in the back, but like I'd rather have that table in the middle because like everyone's like staring at you, like, oh, who are those hot shots?
Exactly. I want that table. The little round.
Yeah, overall, I thought the
kitchen.
I'm kind of critical sometimes of like the dining on ships, you know, just kind of that's kind of how I am. But I will say I was impressed. I enjoyed all the food from cabanas to we didn't even talk about like the small services. Like I love the chicken shawarma. Like like that's unique. Does the Wonder have that? Do you know? Or like
I think so.
Okay. I just found that interesting at like the Donald like area, so where you can get like your burgers and hot dogs. They had like a little chicken shawarma area. I thought that was really neat. You have your Pinocchio's pizza, the ice cream, you can actually like get it yourself with the self-serve. And
for that.
I know. I know you missed that sometimes on some of the other ships. And I didn't go to Daisy's Delights, but that's a cool section kind of tucked in the back near cabanas on the port side, maybe. I might have that wrong.
But I think it's on the starboard side. But I went there a couple times, got some chicken wraps, they had chocolate chip cookies back there.
Oh, did they? Oh, dang.
The ironic thing, dude, it's kind of the healthier like choices because it's called Daisy's Delights. But dude, that's where the chocolate chip cookies were. So I went back there and got those a few times. But that's awesome. I had a chicken salad wrap one time from there. Ooh.
So good. Yeah. So I really liked those counter service offerings too. Those were really great. The shawarma, I had that a couple times. That I don't know why that really stood out to me, but they had like a special burger of the days. Like Stefan was our guy. Like after tequila, he hooked us up with the best chicken tenders of our lives. I remember.
That's where you go to get the chicken tenders after a tasting, dude.
So really, really pleased with the food.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk before we get to like stuff like that, but entertainment. So shows. I saw Tangled and I thought that show was really good. I'm not a big show guy. I'll be honest. I'll tell you what I did instead of the shows a couple times, but I love Tangled and I love like Maximus the horse. I thought that was awesome, but the whole show was fun. I love that movie and that show. So I enjoyed it. In the theater itself, on the Magic, it's kind of interesting because the Walt Disney Theater, you know, if you've been on like the Wish or the Dream or the Fantasy or the Treasure, like you're used to having a balcony and like the theater being big. It's an intimate theater on the Magic where there's no balcony. Like
I enjoyed that a lot.
It's great because you feel like you're really close to everybody's close to the stage, and it's a more intimate production, which I really enjoyed. It's a very different feeling in there. Again, there's a more comfortable feeling on these ships. You know, not better, not worse, just a different feeling. But I enjoyed that show. So did you see any of the other shows? What did you think?
It's kind of funny. I missed Tangled because I had a migraine. But I saw the other shows. So between the two of us, we saw all the shows. Yeah. So Twice Charmed, I think, was the first one. It was like a Cinderella spinoff. Great show. Like it was like kind of had a unique twist. Like there was a fairy godfather in it instead of like a fairy godmother. So really unique. Had some great performers and dancers. There was performers in the aisleway, so you had to like, you know, I was on the aisle, so I had to be very careful, you know, not stretch out my leg, you know. But really enjoyed that. The Lawrences were with us. I think every time we were in the show, they had their like the great niece with us, like Thea was with us, so that was really great watching those. Then we watched the last show, which I think was like an original Disney Cruise Line show. Is it Dreamers or Dreams? I think or
Disney Dreams, and I want to say that has been showing on the Magic since '98, since the show.
So I talked to the cruise director on that last night in the farewell party, and I talked to him about that. He's like, yeah, like, and he Mike was from 1998 as well on the Magic. He's been on the Magic.
That's crazy.
The whole time.
And
isn't that crazy?
The best pipes in the world. I wish we could get him to come on the show.
Like in a future Must See Adventure, I interviewed him on the last night, so you'll get to hear his pipes. But
dude, he's got the best pipes.
So yeah. So how cool is that? They're still doing Dreams. I will say, like, they've tweaked it some, right? Because there's some newer like Disney songs and movies featured in it. But I thought it was cute. Like I know, like it was kind of like a greatest hits kind of stuff, like mumbled in there, you know, like, so like, yeah, some fun, familiar songs and dances happening in there, but I really enjoyed it. And really though, like, I just wanted to experience as much as I could of the Magic. And I definitely want to experience that show in particular because it was just original to the ship. So glad that I was able to do that. But I think you were out enjoying the ship to yourself, right? Because when the show's happening, there's a show and there's dining. So you might have a lot of the areas to yourself, right?
Yeah. So Pam and I we caught ourselves like one of those times where it was like, yeah, we're, you know, because we were on late dining, right? So we had the early show, late dining, and we were just like, oh, well, you know, we're not going to get down there. Like we're not going to get a great seat because we were kind of a little behind the 8 ball. Didn't want to change clothes. And I was like, you know what? Let's just don't go to the show because we're not huge. Like I said, we're not huge show people. So I said, you know what? Let's do this. Everybody's going to be in the show or eating. Let's go up to the adult pool because we don't ever swim. Like we don't ever swim. We were, you know, by ourselves this time. We didn't have it. You know, Mallory wasn't with us. Paige wasn't with us. Just us. So we went up there like nobody's in the adult pool. Nice. Like it was abandoned and it was still, you know, pretty warm out, light out. Like, I mean, it was like 6 o'clock.
That's right. Yeah. It would have been light out then. Yeah.
It was like 6:15, dude. It was perfect. So like we were there was like 2 people in that got out as soon as we got in. I didn't say anything to them. I didn't do anything bad, but they were leaving. Maybe they were hungry. I don't know. We got in and we had the whole, I mean, you don't get this very often, like on a cruise, like where you get the adult pool to yourself. And it was, you know, getting to be sunset. And we just hung out in the adult pool by ourselves and just, it was like, it was great. I mean, I don't regret that. And we did this twice, actually, for 2 different times. And it was just wonderful. We got to relax. The pool water was warm. We got in there's 2 great hot tubs right off the adult pool on the Magic. And I love that. We could talk about this kind of transfer into that, but the adult pool area on the Magic is wonderful. Like the pool's huge. 2 great hot tubs, Signals Bar right there in the Cove Cafe. I mean, it's a great big adult deck area on the Magic. You might think, and we talked about this, the public areas, even though the Magic is the smallest ship, it has great big public areas for some reason. Like the bars, the lounges, they're huge. Like it doesn't make sense. Like a lot of these areas are gigantic, and like the adult swim, like public, like the layout area, the pool, huge. Like big and great. I love that pool.
It's like they really, like, when they built that ship, they really did want to like cater to like adult specific areas, right? Yeah, they really did. Yeah,
so we love that. I mean, I wouldn't say to do that every night, but I would say maybe try it one night
if you can, for sure. Like, yeah, Liz and I had the adult pool tour ourselves one time, and it was when where was it raining? It was after we left Castaway Cay and it was downpouring and we were just soaking wet. We're still in our swimsuits. We're like, let's just go to the pool. And
You're not gonna get
no one else was in there. And then the rain let up and we're like, oh, sweet. We got the pool to ourselves. So that was kind of nice. But before we went to the adult pool, we did go into the main pool because I said, I want to try the main pool. And I did not like it.
See, I've never even tried the main pool.
But it's good. I mean, it's good for families, right? It's good for the kids. Yeah. And I do love if there's like a good movie playing, you know, or whatever, like on Funnel Vision, that is fun. Yeah. You know, it's really fun being in the main pool and you're like locked in on a movie and you're just in your swim trunks floating or whatever. That's really cool.
That is cool.
But the adult pool is really where it's at.
Just going to the very, very last night, which is the worst night. Like when you're walking, you're just trying to soak it all in for those last few hours. But they did show Empire Strikes Back on Funnel Vision.
That's right.
Like, oh, that is so awesome. Because they, deep dive into the catalog. Who doesn't like Empire Strikes Back?
I do want to say about the adult area though, like I loved that Cove Cafe too, very much. Like I think that one and the Wish might be my favorite Cove cafes so far. Just like, oh man, just so good. That's such a chill and like cool spot to hang out. Like, and I understand like people have to work, you know, but and it's not, it doesn't like weird me out, but it's more so like I feel bad for them, like because I went to Cove Cafe a couple times in the mornings. And I got a coffee and I could just kind of sat in there. And then that's a good place to chill and like kind of do some work, check your emails. And I'm just looking at people on their laptops and I'm just like, man, like you should just put that away and just enjoy life right now. But I get it. Like some people have, you got to check in.
Well, maybe they're like on, back to back cruises, and that's
it could be. And like, I mean, you've talked about that too, like just taking a cruise and like,
oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
You could work. I mean, you could work from a ship. You totally could.
That's gonna happen.
But I mean, if you had to work somewhere in the ship, that's where I would do it too. Though 100% would be Cove Cafe.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's places, and that'd be one. I saw somebody working in this Soul Cat Lounge. That'd be another place.
I mean, that would be a great place too. I mean, unless there was like a big trivia thing going on.
Yeah, I bought a couple of places, like it was kind of late night. They were in the Soul Cat Lounge. I'm like, that'd be a great place to work.
Keys would be a good place too, but Keys is just not open during the day. Is the problem.
Yeah. Okay, so
well, should we talk about those adult areas that's around adult stuff?
Let's talk about the adult space. It's got after hours, which for us, like for me especially, is weird because the adult areas were forward on the ship, where I'm used to the adult areas being aft. So that got me a little bit confused.
And I booked forward, and it was great. So I was talking about the size of the ship. It was being deck 7 was great too, by the way. So it was just a quick 2 flights up the stairs to get to Cabanas or top 9. I mean, so I still had Cabanas was aft. So you still had to like walk a little bit to the other end, but that was such a short walk on this ship.
Not far. Exactly. Not far.
So I rarely used the elevator. It seemed like, cause it was just 2 flights up, or then it was like an easy walk down to get to after hours. So I love that, but it did feel weird being forward. You're right.
It was like it confused me, and I still like even the whole length of the cruise, I still like couldn't figure out like which side was Keys on, which side was O'Gill's on, and where was Fathoms. Like I just had to.
I had a hack though, because like the way Fathoms was like a half circle, like you could like cross through Fathoms to get to O'Gill's. That's how I would go there. Yeah. I would just like take like a little shortcut. Yeah, I just looked at the signs because I still like in my brain I couldn't compute like which one was where, but I figured it. Keys was kind of easy to find because it's like off the elevators. But what did you think? Because I mean, you've obviously gone in 687, you've been in O'Gill's on the other ships, the Fantasy. You've been in Evolution and the Tube. Overall, what did you think of the adult areas? And enjoyed them very much. I love that area. I mean, Fathoms was cool. Like. It seemed kind of a little dated. I mean, I like the theming of it, like it was cute, decorated. I still think my favorite is the Tube.
Me too.
And I've only been on the Fantasy once. Yeah. But like that really resonated with me. I really love the Tube. but
the thing I liked about Fathoms was like behind their bar they had portholes. That kind of cool looking. Like
that was so cool. That jumped out to me immediately.
Kind of cool too. Yeah, that was neat looking. But
you're absolutely right.
Fathoms too.
And they had those cool like seats in the back, which we tend to like sit in a lot, like those like half like half old, like those half circled.
I kind of like like recessed, like your back kind of tucked away. But they have those like in Evolution in the Tube. But the problem is with those, like you're so far back, you're like detached from the club. Like you
might as well be like in another location.
Exactly. You're like not even in the club at that point. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is true. Like I like the size of Fathoms almost because it's a smaller ship. Like you could be anywhere in that venue and feel included with whatever the activity was. Where like you said, in Evolution, there's certain parts of that club where like you're so far away you can't even see the stage. You know,
like binoculars to see what's
like
going
in the nosebleeds. Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
But yeah, I really enjoyed Fathom. O'Gill's was great. Like I loved like that green carpet in there. Like that's just so cool. Just fantastic. And then yeah, Keys. So Keys was great. I just I think we're gonna talk about this. Like this is just like my thought. Like I want to do less tastings in future cruises because I want to spend more time like ordering drinks that like I kind of want and like get to like go into these when I want to, where like you're kind of scheduled, like, okay, you got to go do this tasting at this time and you're drinking these 5 things, where like I rather go roll in the Keys at this time and order what I want. You know what I mean? Like, so I felt like I was like tied to like a certain schedule with a lot of these things where it was hard for me to get the Keys at whenever I wanted to for like a casual drop. And does that kind of make sense?
It does. Now, see, I think tastings are better for somebody like me who never goes and drinks because I don't know what to order and I don't know anything about drinking. And I'd rather have somebody like lay out 5 shots of tequila and tell me like the different kinds of tequila. Like we're just going to get this done in like 45 minutes and have a good time. Like that's perfect for rookie Mike that doesn't know what's going on. And like it's a guaranteed good time. We're going to have a good time with everybody in here. Like it's great. Now I will say like I scheduled too many because you know, you get that excitement when it comes, your booking window opens, you're like 3 months away, you see the availability, you book it. And I felt like we had too much scheduled. So I'm going to cut back on that. Like you don't need to do 2 tequila tastings during your cruise. Do 1, like, and do 1 mixology. We did 2 of those, but it was a podcast cruise. So I wanted to do it with different groups.
Fun, yeah.
What I found out was like, it was the same. Everybody did the same thing. It was almost like in the same mixology, it was the same group of people in both with the same Andre, you know, he was awesome. But it was the same, like, you know, leader doing the mixology class, which again, he was great, but it was the same drinks, same spiel, you know, and the same venue.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe you don't have to do it twice, but I think you just get caught up in the excitement. I mean, it was fun both times because you're with friends doing it, you know, there's nothing wrong with it, but maybe switch it up. And like I tried something new. We did that chocolate and liqueur, which I
really liked that one a lot.
Great. Yeah. That was awesome, dude. That was great. But you know,
and I'll tell you that lady did not mess around though, like because that these are like normally like an hour long. We were done in 20 minutes.
Yeah, and she drank during it. Like,
oh yeah, she drank. She joined in. She partaked.
Yeah, she did.
That was great.
She wasn't wasting. So, but I mean, I would say, you know, like if you're like me and you know, like we're just 2 different, like you know, like what to order and stuff. I have not a clue. So, you know, I enjoy like when they talk about what's the difference between like a Blanco and a Reposado.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great. The educational behind it is great. Yeah.
It's like I keep telling, you know, Pam that I need to get that, you know, George Strait.
Your George Strait tequila. Yeah.
Like I keep getting the ads on my Twitter now. Like I got to go get the Codigo because the other day was like National Tequila Day. And I got to like George Strait's like calling to me. Like I got to get the 1530. And she's like, stop. Like I got to go to Deerberg's. So anyway.
You know what's interesting though? Sometimes though, like you can only drink at some of these places because of the tasting, because like of their hours. Like if you want to drink at O'Gill's, sometimes you can only drink at O'Gill's through the tasting because they're shut down. You know, so that's kind of interesting sometimes too. So sometimes if you want a beer at O'Gill's, you can only get one if you book the excursion. So.
But it is cool because like, we got to see Bonnie at O'Gill's, who was, you know, on the Dream. He was a bartender at Meridian on one of our podcast cruises. I think back in 2015, he did one of our mixology classes. He invented the Cocoa Cadillac.
Cocoa Cadillac.
One of the best mixed drinks. We made it that whole summer after that cruise. It was so good.
You made one for me at your house, like your old house, and
yeah. I mean, it was such a good drink. But I mean, he was doing the beer tasting in O'Gill's, which I sat in. You did it for me with Pam because I don't drink beer. But again, it was just fun to be in the environment and learn all about the different kinds of beers. And Pam liked some, didn't like others, and you know, everybody had a good time. So, you know, again, just hang out. So
that whole area that I did like the after hours, like with the blue carpet and everything, and like all the portholes in that area, just a really, really cool part of the ship. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, those padded portholes down in after hours because kids can be in there until like 9 o'clock. So go down.
Right, yeah. The padding is crucial.
And there's a bonus little store you can check out. It's not open very often. It's got very limited.
And it was like specific to like the magic. It was like magic only merchandise. It seemed like in there.
Yep. So, okay, we've talked about that. We've talked about entertainment. Our staterooms both had deluxe ocean views, not the family ones, just the regular ones. But, deck 7, I was midship, kind of forward-ish. You were forward. And again, location was perfect. Not much to say. It was great staterooms.
Yep. And our stateroom hosts were great. Elise was awesome. We talked to her all the time. It was the first time like our stateroom host ever gave us a hug before we left.
And subscribe to your YouTube channel.
And I think she might be surprised at the podcast too. So hello, if you're listening. Yeah.
Glad to have you.
Yeah.
So we talked about that on Sunday night, just that they work so hard to make your experience so amazing. And we appreciate it so very much.
We do. And I don't know, like if it was this ship in particular, but like I felt like the crew was tighter with each other because like Elise's husband worked on the ship, who was friends with our server at Palo, who was friends with our like assistant server, like with our rotational dining. I've just felt like the crew was tighter like than other cruises. Did you feel that way?
100%. Like, and again, I guess you're going to get that on a smaller ship because you have smaller crews. So everybody's going to know each other. It's like a small town kind of feel. And I love that. Made me feel good. That made me feel like something special is brewing here. Like everybody cares for each other. And speaking of that, our dining team, we didn't mention that Mimi and our main server.
Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. But his name was, I remember we both freaked out like on our gratuities because like the name was like 30 letters long. We're like, that's not his name on his like name tag.
But then we figured it out that it was shortened. But our serving team was great. Mimi was our assistant server. She was like always, family. And I kind of like that. She was but everybody just took care of us. Like it was just, again, and this was because that.
And this is not a knock at the head servers, but I think this is the most involved head server that I've ever had. And he was the one that actually helped with the dining on that first day that you talked to. And just, he was great too, heavily involved with just helping us and making sure we had everything that we needed. So just, man.
Yep.
This might have been the best crew overall. It's so fresh in our minds, so like I'm sure we've had just as good service on every other cruise we've been on, but since it's so fresh, but I feel like this is one of the best service we've ever had on any cruise we've had.
I agree. All right, let's talk ports because we're getting a little bit long, but we got
I know, Mike, I'm sorry.
Okay, because we can always, the good news is we do Sunday night shows. So if anybody has questions, calling on a Sunday night, we'll talk about this more on Sunday night. So it's always you and I every week talking about these things, but this is going to be kind of the show that you can go to if you ever want to hear about what's this 5-night Bahamian Magic cruise about. Nassau, we didn't get off. We used it as a sea day because it was a 5-night cruise. I wanted to get as much as I could out of being on the Disney Magic because I haven't been on it in forever. So we just stayed on and had a good old day on board, just explored the ship and, swam and just did everything on board. You did the same, right?
Yep. I had a migraine for a few of those hours, which was unfortunate, but, you filled in my role for a little bit, enjoyed Elizabeth and Emily, and you won a medal, I believe.
That's right. I forgot about that. We played some Disney trivia that day. Now, I did not add much. I think I may give one possible suggestion throughout the round, but because it was Disney. I think it was Disney music trivia.
Disney tunes trivia, I think, right? Yeah.
I know music and some Disney music, but yeah, your wife.
Hey, you were there. You were part of the crew, man. So you got the medal.
I did get the medal, and I know you were kind of jealous of it. But
I told Liz, I gave Liz some stuff. I was like, you could have just said my husband's back in the room, not feeling well.
It's right there on the door. It's sitting right there next to my phone.
It's all good. We don't need multiple of those in the house, but maybe we do.
I hear you.
No, but yeah, I'm with you. We just wanted to explore the ship, and that was just an extra day, an opportunity to do so, and that was great.
We've mentioned it many times. Real quick, I'm thinking about it. When you get on the ship at that first buffet, look at your itinerary and highlight things. Put hearts next to them, and it will remind you because you might see on day 2 there's going to be a tunes trivia, Disney tunes trivia that you want to do because you'll forget about it when you're at Nassau and you might stay on the ship. And you might miss it. So that's a good time to kind of go through and see the things that are going to interest you. Put a heart next to it because it'll give you a push notification 10 minutes, 15 minutes before the thing happens. So you don't miss those things. Because what happens is you get on the ship and man, time goes so fast once the cruise starts. Right. You don't want to miss out on these events that happen during your cruise because they are kind of the good stuff.
There was one thing I did not do on the ship, though. I know, just a quick wrap up the ship itself that you did every day. I never went to the spa, and that's where the treadmills and stuff were, right? Like, any thoughts on that? Was that great for you?
Oh, I mean, as good as a treadmill can be. I mean, it's not everybody's jazz, but I do run every morning. But it's the best ones of all of them because the treadmills on the Magic are on the very, very front of the ship. It used to be kind of the overlook for the back in the day before 9/11. There was an overlook where you could, as a guest, look down on the bridge of the ship. They built them that way, but after 9/11, they covered it up for security reasons, and so now that's where the treadmills are. So you look out over the very front of the ship. It's the most amazing view on deck 10. But the problem is, here's the one problem. If you're super tall, or not super tall, but if you're tall, like I'm 6'3", my head hit the ceiling if I ran straight up. So I kind of had to hunch a little bit. Now I could have solved this problem because there's like 10 treadmills across the very front, but there's also a second row kind of back a little bit that's way down low and it's not even close to the ceiling. But they're not up on the front by the windows. So dumb Mike I'm still going to probably have a bald spot on the top of my head because I was not giving up that view. So I just kind of hunched down and ran my whatever so I could still have that awesome view because it was worth it. Especially the day we pulled into Lookout because like I watched the entire thing happen. I mean, like it's like I'm running on a treadmill watching us pull right into the dock, watching the throat and shoot out with the gun, they shoot out the rope.
Oh yeah.
And watch the guys out there like with their life vests on, pulling us, not pulling us in, but tying us off. And I'm like, that's it. Like for a treadmill run, dude, this is awesome because
that's top entertainment.
Exactly. I'm like, this is great. So yeah, they're good treadmills and everything. So yeah, it's awesome. They got your choice of lemon water or orange water. All the fancy water and all that stuff.
That's awesome.
I'm used to being in my basement storage room where I'm just looking at all
there you go
clutter. So just
yeah, book another cruise on the Magic. Just
it's so good. So I'm trying to think what else. One thing I missed was the diaper dash. I've kind of kicked myself for that, but I think it was during our Palo brunch or something. It was during
Palo brunch or a tasting or something like that.
Yeah, it
didn't align with something that we already pre-booked. So
yeah, too bad. I mean, whatever we're doing was better, but I always like to go to that. What else? I mean, I did
the fair, the See You Real Soon. I know, like you took advantage of just like taking time, like up on the top deck, because I know
save that because we haven't talked about Lookout and Castaway. Okay. So hang on.
Okay, yeah,
because that's the end. So
yeah. Castaway was great, so we you did the 5K and that was hot. I think did you set like a top 3? Like
I did.
You are a madman.
I did my third fastest time of my life in a 5K, and I've run a ton of 5Ks because I use Runkeeper, right? So I hit the button when I go run and it times you like with the GPS and all that stuff. And dude, it was hot. I mean, it was hot. I mean, I was out there by myself. I ran with Rich. Like I started with Rich. Rich was out there. And we just wanted to get it done, right? Because it was just like, I just wanted to, Pam was going to come out later. I told her, come out whenever you're ready. And I'm going to just put my stuff on a chair. But my plan, people always ask me, like, what's your plan for that? What do you do with your stuff? How do you change? I just run it in my swim trunks.
I do that too.
So, dude, I throw everything in a bag and I put my bag, before I run it, I put my bag on like a beach chair under an umbrella right by the start. Just go over in the sand there, throw it on a chair, and then I go to the start line, just boom, just start running. I ran it, dude. I was just trying to get. I didn't think I was going that fast, but I guess I just wanted to be done because it was hot. So I was like Trisha out there. She was going out to the overlook when I caught her, and she got lost apparently and did like 5 miles. I mean, God bless your heart. You don't want to get lost.
That's not a race you want to get lost in.
Oh, I'm telling you, that's incredible. But I just ran it, got back, and saw the time. The thing pops up like, congratulations. I'm like, what? So, but dude, I was overheated. I was like, I knew I had gone too much because I was like, I got back. I was like, holy God, I'm so hot. I can't because it's July and like you go through the jungle, like it's like the jungle twice when you go through that loop. I was like, I am smoking hot. So I just ran straight down again, I changed out my lizard shirt, put on that rash guard thing or whatever you call it, that sun shirt, right into the ocean, dude. And I could probably went when I hit that water. I was so hot, I probably sizzled. I didn't care. I was smoking. And then I, came back in after like 15 minutes and called Pam and like, oh, I think I almost killed myself, but I got almost a PR.
Look at that. That's
She's like,
awesome.
good. You almost killed yourself on the island. Thank you. But yeah, but it was fun. And then the Castaway Keys it's just so chill. Like we just had a good day.
So
out there.
chill.
Just chilling. Good.
Yeah, we
food.
just hung on the family beach. We took our time getting off. We had breakfast in Lumiere's actually. So just wanted to see what the sit down breakfast was like. So that was good, and just took our time off. We didn't take the tram, we walked it, and we kind of questioned that because we were like, oh, we were like, wow, are we hot?
It
But
was hot that day.
it
And
was
that was my problem is like, I wanted to have I hate that I missed that breakfast, right? Because I love my eggs Benedict. That's when I get them in like that morning when I do the 5K, like you got to be careful because you're going to go run 3 miles in the jungle in the heat. So I attempted it, dude. I had 1 eggs Benedict. That's all I had though. I didn't have like the whole spread. I didn't have like the sausage and the Mickey pan or the Mickey waffle, and it killed me. But like you got to have Lumiere's, like you got to have a good breakfast. I feel like I feel like I was.
I passed on it. I did the 5K in February. I was like, yep, I'm good. I did it once this year. I'm fine.
That's a good point. I know because I got robbed of a breakfast. I was so ticked about that.
But yeah, it was cool. The 5 of us just hung out on the family beach and then had our cookies too. I mean, always got to do cookies too, right? Instead of cookies. Yeah.
Cookies too.
Yeah. But the birds were kind of aggressive that day. Like I thought they kind of fixed that problem, but they were coming at you.
Yeah, they were hungry. They were
hungry.
They were wanting some food. Yeah. So be aware.
Yeah.
Don't
But yeah,
do eat food.
But did you feel that the Castaway is less crowded with the Magic passengers or not?
I didn't feel that big of a difference. I thought I would feel it more. It doesn't mean to say like it didn't feel crowded, but it didn't feel like I thought for some reason it would feel like nobody was there, and it didn't feel that way. It didn't feel like it wasn't uncomfortable, but it didn't feel a whole lot different.
It was funny. I made a comment while we were making the walk. I'm like, oh, it doesn't look that busy here. Then we got to the family beach, and I was like, oh, this just feels like how it always is. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, there wasn't. Yeah, I mean, it like I said, it wasn't crowded, but it didn't feel any different.
Yeah,
but which was fine. I mean, you're on the beach.
For sure, but yeah, so we sensed some weather coming, so you were napping, you already did your run, and all that. So you always love a good nap on Castaway.
Like nap on Castaway.
And Pam always loves her chair right there, like on the shore, so we told Pam, like, I think we're going to wrap it up. We want to save our beach day for tomorrow at Lookout because we haven't been there. So I mean, we had a good amount of beach time too, but we were like, we feel the weather coming. We're going to go. And we were right? The weather came for sure. Holy cow, did it rain?
Because you guys were just barely ahead of us by the time we got back to the ship because we saw you getting on like 100 yards in front of us.
Did you walked back or did you take the tram?
We took the tram.
Okay.
And we saw you guys about 100 yards ahead of us getting in, and dude, it poured. We got soaked. But
yeah, I mean,
you guys ended up going swimming again. Didn't you pull that trick? Like, because
that's when we pulled the trick. So we're like, we're already soaked. We might as well just go swimming. So we had a good time swimming and all that. But yeah, Castaway was great. But we knew like with this itinerary, it's kind of interesting, like because you're gonna have those back-to-back beach days. Where like since we've been to Castaway so much, like let's not overdo our beach time today. Like we had a good fix, right? But let's call it a little bit earlier, and it was a good call, I think, because of the rain. And like, let's just focus in and lock in the next day to have a big beach day.
Yep. And I think that was pirate night too.
It was pirate night. It was.
Yeah, and that was our Palo dinner night. So we came into and kind of got cleaned up, got our showers and stuff. So that was fun. Okay, so let's talk about Lookout because we're over an hour.
Really long. I know, we're really long.
So Lookout. We kind of talked about this on the Sunday night shows. If you checked it out, I mean, first time for me, first time for you. Of course, we've been reading and hearing everything about it for the past, X amount of months. And so we had little preconceived notions, I thought, but give your thought overall once you were there.
I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was gorgeous. The water was fantastic. That sand just felt so good. It just felt like a real authentic beach, like because like they didn't have like the barrier, right? Like the barrier it just felt like wildlife could come in, which we did have some wildlife come in.
Let's talk about that in a second, but yeah.
Yeah. But it just felt like so authentic and so real and just such a beautiful beach. And like the colors were so great. Like just the offerings that they had. Like, we'll talk about the food here in a second, but just like the beach itself was just one of the most amazing looking beaches. And I keep thinking about it every day since we've been back. Like, I can't wait to get back there. It was just a great time in that ocean.
Yeah, it was so naturally beautiful. And even how Disney has developed it with the boardwalks were beautiful. The shelters that they built for guests to get under to eat and so forth were beautiful. Everything there is just done beautifully. I mean, it's just like I couldn't stop taking pictures. But beyond that, so you get there logistically, of course, you have to walk across the pier. It's not as far of a walk as people made it out to be. I mean, it was such a big deal on social media for a while. It's not a big deal. Because the whole time, Trisha said this very well, like it's anticipation building. Like you're walking across it, you get to see the beautiful water as you're walking. You see fish in the water. There's halfway, there's a water stop if you need to get water. There's even a bench if you need to sit down and take a short break. There's wagons. You can call your kids in if you need to. It's fine. You're going to be fine. But then you get there, there's a sign for Lookout Cay, and you get to go through that. But then there's ample trams. Scott talked about this. There's so many trams to get you back to the main part of the island where the action happens. You ride that for about 7 minutes or so. There's narration. There's even characters that I'm sure they'll have plush for at some point.
Great storyline. Yeah.
There's a storyline to it. Exactly. We were trying to decide if they were like turtles or lizards or what they were, but I'm sure they are. And so there's going to, there'll be plush for them because they're like an island figment waiting to happen. But you get there and it's awesome. So you're dropped off into kind of like a central plaza where there's shops and, photo opportunities. And then you get to the beach, and bars and, places like that.
The watering hole. That was my spot.
Yes. And got to see Dwayne, which is my guy from the tastings from the fantasy the summer before. Love Dwayne. Shout out. He's great. He was working at the watering hole. So we get there, like we're ready, like we're getting our spots on the beach and everything, getting ready to go. Beach is closed. We're like, what? How's the beach closed? We couldn't believe it. I was like, somebody's lying. How's the beach closed? Lookout, right? I mean, we come all this way. How's the beach closed? So Scott, I mean, it was super windy, right? So
it was windy.
Because I mean, when I got off the ship, I had on a bucket hat, and the guy working security said, "Sir, like latch your hat down. It's windy." I thought he was kind of joking. Dude, I took one step off that ship, and it was like, whoo, it was like a hurricane force wind. It was super windy. I mean, he was not joking because I had to cinch that thing up, and that's fine once I cinched it up, but it was really windy. But that was the case. But I mean, what was the rumor as to why the beach was closed?
I mean, so I will say it was windy, and for the longest time, like I believe that was the issue because the visibility, it made it tough for the lifeguards to see, look out very far into the ocean to see like swimmers and all that. So it was unsafe. But then the rumor started going out that there was some wildlife that was seen. You're talking about this natural beauty, like you're gonna have some wildlife come in, and you love joking that was the 50th anniversary of Jaws.
I had listened to 4 different Jaws podcasts the week before this because it was the 50th anniversary. So like I listened to all these retro podcasts. 4 different shows had done retrospectives on Jaws, and then everybody on the beach is like, rumor, everybody's because because what we do, the beach is closed. We go sit at the bar and get a drink because we're just riding it out. We're like, oh, we'll get bar stools, right? This is a great place. We're talking to Dwayne, the bartender. We're having a good old time. So, of course, you hear the gossip at the bar. Everybody's like, it's because of sharks. So I'm like, dude, it's because I listen to all these Jaws podcasts. I'm never getting in there now. Or I'm like, I'm at least staying next to somebody I can outrun or outswim. I'm not even a good swimmer.
Oh man,
it was fine.
The good news is though, so it was black flagged, right? So the good news is you could still like kind of be on the shore. So like Pam, I was talking about how Pam loves her chairs, right?
Yeah.
So we took our chairs out and we just kind of sat on the sand, but there was people trying to test the lifeguards.
Yes,
like, come on. I mean, come on now. I mean, I understand, right? You pay a lot of money for this cruise and you want to do this, and it's kind of frustrating that you can't go on the beach, but people really were trying to test the lifeguards a little bit, which was a little frustrating. They're just doing their job, right? And I understand.
Keep everybody safe. Just follow the rules.
Yeah. I know. So they kept having to call people back out of the water a lot, but then so we're just sitting there in our chairs, and then this jet ski just comes like zooming by, and just kind of looking at this stuff, and he kind of gives a thumbs up to the lifeguard. And then, so Liz and I, Pam, we kind of turned our head because you might have been napping. You weren't with us, I think, at that point.
No,
you might have been
taking a nap.
nap.
That's vacation. That's exactly what I do.
Right. and the lifeguard he gets out of like a different kind of flag. We're like, oh, he's changing the flag. And as he's changing the flag, people just start all running in. Like he hasn't even officially called it yet, but like everyone just knew what was happening. So then it was safe in quotes to go in. No, it was safe. It was safe to go in. Like the lifeguards had enough visibility to watch. You had this jet ski that was patrolling. I think they were part of the Coast Guard that was kind of just monitoring the wildlife that may have been spotted earlier. And that water felt so good, didn't it, Mike? Once because you kind of woke up after that too. You heard all the commotion and you came out, and it was fantastic.
Well, because where I was lounging was right under the lifeguard stand, so I was hearing his like walkie-talkie and everything. So I was hearing the communication between the jet ski guy and that trolling boat out in the water too, that we guess had sonar or something, because it was just going back and forth, like scanning and talking to the lifeguards on their their walkie-talkies, whatever that was. And I watched him take the black flag down and put up the red flag is what he put out, I think, because I was like seriously right under him, maybe 3 feet away. And so I was kind of watching all that happen when I woke up. But you're right. Everybody rushed in. Yeah,
it was great. And so we enjoyed lots of beach time, and then we got the
beach though. I mean, the thing was, and I talked about this too real quick, the sounds were so amazing there because you actually hear the water coming in. Like if you want to take a nap, I mean, dude, I was out like a light because the sounds are perfect at that beach.
Yeah, though it's going to be a little choppier than it is Castaway, right? Because you don't have that barrier wall, so the waves are a little bit more, and like I personally like that.
Yes, me too.
And oh man, it was so good. I really enjoyed that beach. But by this time, though, like we were hungry, so we hung out in the water for a little bit. Like, well, let's go get lunch. So we got lunch, and that was a little bit different setup than Cookies. I'm trying to remember what it was called now.
True.
That's right. What I liked about this, though, so like you kind of had these different bays that you could go to, but I also had like the seating section were like different pockets too. So like Liz just sent me a message like, hey, like we're in pocket number 5 or something, because they had like numbers. So it was easy to find like your party, right? Yep. So it wasn't like this huge like one like dining umbrella like you would see like at or dining center that you would see at Cookies. So I knew like where to find you guys. But yeah, you just kind of walk through these little bays and then just kind of get your food. I know like some of them might have had like different offerings, but I went to one that had everything I wanted. So it worked out because they had the spicy chicken sandwich.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
You had 2 of those suckers, dude. God bless you.
I took advantage. I haven't seen a spicy chicken sandwich on a Disney island in years, so I made sure I took 2 of them.
Yep, and I had 1, and I had a bunch of sides and I had ribs because I always have to get ribs. I have ribs at Cookies, and they had ribs again. Like you said, there was different bays, but I think they had like staples at every section, and then at the end, I think they had like the specialty thing, like the rice bowl or whatever.
There's like a fish section or something too, I think. Yeah.
But I think, and again, I didn't explore it fully, but I think that like every bay had like the staples, like the basic things you want. And like I was like, dude, I got the chicken sandwich, I got some ribs, I got some like potato salad, some coleslaw. I'm like, I'm good to go. Like I don't need more than this. And then of course got the ice cream machines for dessert and the cookies. And
ice cream melted so fast that day there though. Like I think it's a little firmer at Castaway. I don't know, because like it instantly melted.
So good. Oh my gosh, it was so good. The food there was amazing. So if you want to go specifically for something, go to that bay. But I think they got the staples at every bay to kind of get you going. That's my guess. So we did that. Now, also one of the things we did was the nature trail, which is unique to Lookout. Now we got lost for about 10, 15 minutes at the beginning. Now, again, it was smoking hot. It's July in the Caribbean or in the Bahamas. We thought, and we just eaten all this food. You down 2 spicy chicken sandwiches. I downed a spicy chicken sandwich. My weight in potato salad and like 5 ribs and ice cream, all this stuff, dude. And we're like, now let's go walk on a nature trail. I don't know why we thought this was a good idea, but we did because we were there. This is what we do. So we were like, okay, we don't know where it is, but we looked on a map and we said, okay, it's a kind of on this map. So we said, we're here, you are here, and here's where it is. So we go like great explorers, that had come before us, and we follow it, and we're like, yeah, that's pretty nice. It's like concrete trail, like, there's all these beautiful plants, and this is nicer than I was expecting. We walked for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, Scott, dude, that kind of looks like True barbecue with the backside of it.
The backside of barbecue.
And then all of a sudden we see like a bunch of like crew members popping out in a golf cart. I'm like, Scott, I don't think it's a nature trail. I think we're backstage. And we ask them, we're like, hey, is this the nature trail? They're like, no, this is not the nature trail. Do you know where it is? They're like, that way. And they just pointed back the way we'd come for 10 minutes. We're like, okay, nobody knows where this nature trail is. So we just turned around and went back. But so you can take it over from there. So we just turned around and went back for 10 minutes. But yeah,
we just went around there and went back. We found the sign that pointed us to the right direction. There was an interesting greeting by that sign, right, Mike?
Yeah. What did it say?
Kind of snake.
Yeah, well, the snake. Oh, yeah, there was probably about a foot long garter snake that kind of slithered by, but we have those here too. So
it was kind of a little rocky, little gravel trail, and Mike and I were both wearing Crocs. So I will just tell you, we did it in Crocs. So different footwear might be recommended, like some sneakers, but we did it in Crocs, and I thought it was fine. Like we did it probably like in some of the toughest conditions, like 110-degree refills in Crocs. And we did fine. It really didn't take that long once they actually found the right path. There was a little bit of uphills, a couple turns, but it was nice. They had like some signs, some facts. Like there was like a lizard sign that you could learn like a little bit of history and things like that. So it was cool that you had some things to look at along the way. And I'm sure over the years as this gets developed, there'll be more things to look and see as you go on this nature trail. But we got up there and we got to see the lighthouse. And Mike, I thought the view up there was definitely worth the payoff. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, 100%. If you're going to go to Lighthouse or Lookout, you got to go see the lighthouse. It probably took us, once we found the trailhead, I'd say maybe 10 to 12 minutes to get to the lighthouse. And it's, there's a relic. There's kind of remains of the original lighthouse, which you can't really tell was a lighthouse, but there's a rebuilt one. And there's actually a working kind of, pole or tower that has like a working light on it, which is the whole story. They got a big sign there with the story of it, which is, I love history, so I find that super interesting. But
I found that interesting too.
If you're not into history, the view from there is amazing. It's a great photo. You get to see from the point there. So go there and check it out. I mean, I think everybody would enjoy that. It's the unique thing for this destination, I would say.
Absolutely.
And there's going to be a 5K there. Now it's going to be interesting because they have merch in the store for the 5K at Lookout. But man, if they have it where I think they're going to have it along that road for the tram, that is going to be a brutal 5K. I mean, I think it's
just going to be like Castaway because it feels like the runway.
It's hilly. This one's hilly though. I was looking at it. This is going to be a hilly one. This is going to be horrific. I don't know if I want to do this one.
I don't know. We should have just bought the merchandise instead.
People were buying it. People were buying it already. I'm like, dude, they're not even running it yet. What are you doing? I know. It bugs me when people do that. I'm like, are you buying this stuff? They haven't even announced it yet. Come on now. Whatever. I mean, whatever. Do your own thing, but come on.
I know.
Like, come on.
It's kind of funny. We bought some merchandise. I bought like a quarter zip. You bought a hat, but so yeah, they do have some cool merchandise. I think we got an ornament or something too. My family did, so they have some cool stuff there. One word of advice: I mean, we did go swimming and all that, hit the tram back up, but wear some lip balm because mine and Mike's lips. We talked about in the Sunday Night Live show with Ian. Our lips got fried, and they just finally started healing. It's like back-to-back Castaway and Lookout days, like in the sun. Oof, that's painful.
That's right. Matt's tuned in, says going to check out the lighthouse. Yeah, definitely do it. Let us know what you think. But it's worth it. It's not that big of a trek, and it's even the journey itself is fun because you got the signs, you get to see the beauty. It's the natural beauty of this place. I think Castaway is beautiful. It's got natural beauty too, but it's definitely Disney. It's got the Disney feel to it because it's been established for 25 years. This has more natural beauty because it's being developed. It's still in its infancy, so you get to see that.
For
sure. All right, so let's kind of wrap because we're super long. So the end of a cruise is always the worst. Now you're going on another one very soon. I kind of have one. No, I don't have any that's on the books. Pam and I are.
We can change that, Mike. Let's change that.
We're trying to work around football schedules. Football season is so tricky until like the end of January, but we're going to do one. It's not like a year away. Like we're going to do one before probably this winter, so that's not too terribly bad. I just keep telling myself that so that my heart isn't broken. But like the end of a cruise, that last night where you got to have your luggage out, it's tagged, you're handing off your gratuities to your wait staff, you're getting your hugs and your pictures with your wait staff and your room steward. And the last night is just, it's so bittersweet, and we had two different strategies and I think both are great.
Both are good.
Show me, or the see you real soon, thing in the atrium, I tend to just, it's almost too sad for me to go to that. I just kind of walk the decks and just enjoy the ship, like taking pictures and just two different things. So tell me about the See You Real Soon kind of show.
Yeah, so the See You Real Soon is kind of fun because like it's like the farewell, right? I think so. Every time I've done this, like there's a different cruise director doing this. So do they change cruise directors every other cruise? I think, is that true? Do you know that for a fact or not?
I don't think they do it every other, but I just think they do rotate through so people can have vacations.
Yeah, that's why I think so too. It's just maybe it's ironic because like it was a different cruise director, so I felt like he was going to probably be the new cruise director for the next itinerary, is what I thought. But anyway, so he like. It's kind of fun. Like it's kind of like the sail away party in a way, but like in the atrium. So they bring down all the characters, they do this introductions, and then it got wild because it's like a free for all. They're like, all right, all the characters are going to be around here and just go in line and meet them. And then everyone just starts like, oh yeah, I want to be Captain Mickey. But we happen to be like right kind of like where Captain Mickey was. So like, boom, we just went in line. 5 minute, not even 5 minutes, maybe like a 3 minute wait. We got to go see Captain Mickey. Shout out to Rich. He was like up on like we were on the main level, deck 3. He was on 4, and he took like a photo from deck 4 of us like meeting Captain Mickey. So it was kind of cool. Like, so we got a different perspective of that. But it's just kind of cool. Everyone like goes around and like do this fun like introductions. But I see what you're saying, Mike. Like it could be kind of sad because like that is like really like the official like wrap up of the cruise. It's like. I mean, it's See You Real Soon, right? They're saying like goodbye. Like this is like the end.
Like MIC.
I know.
Real soon, dude. That song hits me hard. I don't know.
I
why.
know.
Like
I see it. I try to like have this perspective. Like, it's my way of saying thank you to the characters. Thank you to the crew. Like the cruise directors down there. Like I like to like, especially Joel. Like I thought he was cool. Like he was in the theater every night. I saw him a few times this cruise. I like his pipes. We're talking about his voice. So and I wanted to interview him for the channel. So like I wanted to meet him and all that. So I just find it as a cool opportunity just to thank the crew and just relive. Like man, this is really cool. I got to spend 5 days with all these guests and these characters, and I'm just so happy that I got to have the experience. And farewell, and we'll see you real soon.
No, I've done it. Like when I did the Treasure Cruise in December, like I did the farewell party, right? Because like I wasn't with family, like I wasn't so sad that it was over. It's like a bonus cruise, right? It was
because you're about to go see your family, you're excited.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of a different perspective on things, but I just like, especially like podcast cruises and cruises where I'm with these cruises where I'm with my friends and everything. Like I just don't want them to end, and I mean, you guys probably can feel me about there listening. Like it's not a depression or anything. It's a sadness a little bit because like I have such a good time on these cruises and they go so fast. And I mean, there's always going to be
you plan so long for them and they just go by.
And so, I almost take like a little time of reflection, and I just like to, like walk the top deck, and I'm grateful. It's a grateful kind of walk. Like I'm like, man, we got to have so many great memories at these tastings and these dinners. And I got to see Lookout Cay for the first time, and it was amazing. Got to have these beach days, and I don't get to do this stuff in my everyday life. I mean, how lucky am I to get to do these things? And it's not that I don't want to be in the chaos of that, but I also, it's a good time to reflect on like because I'm just not going to have, this time to see the ocean, at night one more time. And it's just two different kind of strategies.
Yeah, absolutely. I like them both. I like both strategies.
And I do both. I can alternate. So
sometimes we don't do it. It's just there wasn't like anything happening like in the adult like events right then, so like there wasn't really anything happening. Our bags were packed and all that, and we just happened to be like walking by right there at that moment. We're like, you know what? Let's just do it. So we did it, and it was fun.
Yeah, like Matt says, the best way is to go back to Walt Disney World, which you did, and played some golf and all that. We're running along, so we'll talk about that maybe on a future episode or Sunday night, but because this thing's really out of control. I did have to go back because we had cheerleading obligations back home. So, I mean, that was the worst kick in the rear end, is that you had to get on the Disney Cruise Line bus and go back to MCO. Then, we're back home and having dinner that Friday afternoon at LS Teca, which isn't terrible, but I mean, we're right back to, work and obligations and the chaos of
sometimes you just know that going to a cruise, you just know like, hey, like this trip, it's just going to be the cruise only, and it's going to be great. And it was,
it was, and I thank everybody who sailed with us because they made it fun for us. We got to hang out with everybody and meet folks that we see in the Discord, and it makes the relationship so much stronger when you get to, spend time together, play trivia together, have dinners together, hang out at the pool together, hang out at Lookout and Castaway, and get to meet folks. And I do thank everybody who sailed with us. I hope everybody had a great time, got to hang out with their family groups. And, I saw it happening, and I know that they had fun, but I just hope everybody, got to make those memories. And it makes me happy that we have such great listeners that we get to do these things. It's so much fun.
Absolutely. And thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike, for just starting the whole thing 18 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
Just lucky that we get to do this. This is my favorite thing in the world. Podcasting is it's my golf. Like, you get to play golf is my thing. So, and I'm glad that you are a part of the team because you've added so much over the past couple of years. So we get to have all this fun together. So hey, let's wrap it up, because the good news is we do the Sunday night show. So if anybody has any questions about the cruise, or, if you're curious about this, because like Matt says, he's doing this exact same itinerary soon. I think he said in September, if we didn't cover anything, call in on a Sunday night. Ask away. We love to talk about it. So I think we hit most of the major stuff, but there's always stories to tell.
I think we did good.
All right. So we're going to jump out of here. Wish you a great Friday and an awesome weekend. Don't forget, the show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. You want to sail a great Disney Cruise Line ship? We can help you with that. No additional cost to you, and a free onboard credit with that cruise you cannot lose. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make these shows possible. Cannot do this without your support. Just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this weekend. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Don't forget to join us in the Be Our Guest Podcast Clubhouse. That's our message board /live chat. It's a Discord server. It's free for everybody. We'd love to have you there this weekend. Come on over, beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. And you can follow us on the social media. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike on Instagram, x.com, and Threads. You can follow Scott at epscott, EPSCOT, in those same places. But where you got to check them out is the YouTube channel for must-see adventures. Scott, what's happening on the channel this weekend?
Just hanging out in Hawaii. We're going to have a resort day at Alani coming up. If you've ever been curious about the luau, a luau featuring Mickey Mouse. Hello. You got to check out the episode that'll be coming up soon. Must See Adventures. Like and subscribe.
All right. Like and subscribe. Must See Adventures this weekend, and watch with the family. That'd be a great Saturday night thing to do.
Yeah.
Friday night.
Luau. Mickey Mouse at a luau and fire dancers. Come on. It sounds awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah. There you go. All right. So we're going to jump out of here, and we'll see you on Sunday night for the live call-in show. We'll be back together taking your calls. So until then, have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Dude, that was a long show.
Dude, that was so long. I'm so sorry, man. We just both kept going.
I mean, there was just too much to talk about, but we got an audience. We didn't have to do 2 shows. So.
Yeah, so much.
125, I think.
Hopefully you don't have much to edit there, but
well, I mean, it's nothing to edit. I mean,
yeah.
it's
just a long episode.
Just a long episode. No big deal.
It's like a movie. Dude, there's movies shorter than that.
Oh yeah. Dude. Yeah, this will keep you busy on the treadmill for a while. If you're running, this one will keep you company for a long run.
Pam's like, I'm glad I bailed.
Yeah, no kidding. That's why I kind of wanted to let her go, because I kind of thought this might be like an hour.
Yeah.
And, I knew it'd be mostly us.
Holy cow. What a long episode. Well, hopefully you can quick get that ready and go get your Taco Bell.
Yeah, dude, it's so hot here. What's
the temperature? It is smoking hot, dude.
Ugh, it's gross. I can't wait till this weekend. It's like a high of 80, like this weekend.
I know, man. It's gonna be nice.
You playing golf?
I'll probably play golf this weekend. Yeah,
that'll be perfect.
It was our high on Sunday. High is 79, low 56. Like when we play golf, like a tee time, like it would be like 62 degrees. Like that feels so nice. It might be cold.
I know, you'd almost need like a jacket.
Yeah, I know. That new Disney Cruise Line jacket I just got.
Yes. Oh my God, that'll feel good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for let me yap. That was fun.
No, man, thanks for doing it. So yeah, next week, if you could count on it, that'd be great. But
yep, sounds good.
All right. Tell Liz and Emma said hello.
Yeah, tell the girls we say hello. And Emily got the card, so thank you for that. She'll have a thank you card.
You're welcome. No, you're welcome. Dude, we were gonna bring it on the cruise and we forgot because we're like, wait till we see him, and we totally left it
Oh,
here.
you're fine. Side note, Pam has like the best. She has like the best. Like you can tell she was a teacher, man. Like the best handwriting ever. Yeah,
you can't even read mine. I'm just telling
Look,
you.
her handwriting is like the most perfect handwriting I feel like I've ever seen.
And mine looks like I write with my toes. So seriously, you can't even read mine. It's embarrassing. Like
That's funny.
I couldn't even write on a board when I was a teacher. Like it was horrible. Like I had to type. It was awful.
Mine too.
Oh.
That's why we're related in
No,
some
I've
way.
seen yours. Yours is better than mine.
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
sometimes I try. I guess when I try, I guess
Your
it's
mine
better.
Oh,
That's funny.
see.
All right. Well,
All right.
have a good night. I'm sure I'll text you later.
Yeah, I'll talk to you. All
All
right.
right.
See
See ya.
ya. Bye.
Bye, everyone.